Welcome to Planning Phase Syndicate. Thank you all so much for joining us for our Star Wars Unlimited podcast. This is episode 57. We're super excited to be here. One of my favorite aspects of Star Wars had a card revealed this week. We'll get to that in a few minutes. Tonight, we're going to cover some of the PQs. We're going to talk a little bit about my PQ performance in Michigan. And then we're going to also talk about some spoilers for the next set, Legends of the Force, as well as some of the results from the weekend for other tournaments. With that being said, let me bring in my co-host for tonight. Please welcome Alex, the Benchwarmer Judge. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing okay. Voice is actually not nearly as bad as I expected it to be after doing like 10 hours of commentary yesterday.
Yeah, I was a little concerned, and then I was like, we'll feed him a little bit of like soda and call it a day, maybe a beer.
Yeah, I was just took a break for the last round in the top 8 to judge and conversate with the people there, but it was fun. It was good. I think the commentary went well after we eventually got around to ironing out all the audio issues from the really janky setup.
Yeah, there was definitely some of that there. But
if you saw the setup and what we had to use, you'd be so shocked that the stream went as well as it did.
Yeah, you could tell. Like, I don't think that they've like professionally streamed certain things before. Like,
not with like commentary and like a live cam and all that stuff, because that rig was made out of security cameras.
Yeah, if they do want to continue to do it in the future, we could probably go through and like actually like help them with that. I'd be willing to come in and
have
talk
audio equipment and stuff like that. They just, I guess the owner of the store didn't realize they were doing commentary because no one told them, even though I don't know what the miscommunication was there. So it was like a little bit, not last minute, but he's just like, okay, well, it's going to have to do it this way for now.
Fair enough. Also joining me is JJ. How are you tonight, sir?
Doing all right, man. I'm getting pumped. We got the Atomic Empire Planetary Qualifier coming up here on the 31st. So anybody in the North Carolina area, if you guys are looking to come out there, definitely get your tickets ahead of time. I know last Planetary Qualifier, we had about like 130 people, I want to say. And it was packed. So definitely register. There's still spots open if you guys are looking to come out. And then the following weekend, if you're not able to make it out to the Planetary Qualifier, we will have a store champs there at Atomic Empire in Durham. So we got 2 back-to-back weekends for Star Wars Unlimited. So come out. We would love to see you guys out there and have a great time.
Are you going to the Planetary Qualifier?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Oh, Alex, maybe we should go to North Carolina. We could drive it. You get good gas mileage in your vehicle.
This? Oh, okay. You want to drive with something without brakes?
No, I don't. No.
No. I'm going to recess out in North Olmsted, Ohio on the 31st for their planetary. I think I have store credit there still from, I played a lot there with X-Wing, and that's where we'd meet up for all that.
Well, is it the 24th, JJ?
No, the 31st. 31st.
Okay, so that's not this weekend then. It's a week. It's the weekend.
Yes, the following
week after.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the weekend after that is your store champ.
Store champ, yeah.
Okay, so that's on like June 6th or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, never mind then, because the 31st, I was all like, if it was this weekend, I was like, it's a long weekend. We could do this, Alex. Come on, man. We could drive down there, all the way down there. It's 12.
If it was this weekend, hours. I probably could have done it.
We could crash on.
We could have tried.
Yeah, we could have gone to JJ's house and just slept at JJ's house, and we wouldn't even have to pay for a hotel.
Hell yeah.
JJ's wife would be super happy letting us have her bed for the weekend. So sometimes she listens in the background. So I'm waiting for her head to pop in and be like,
I'll have to replay it for her later. Yeah.
We had a good time for the most part this weekend. I didn't get a lot of sleep until today. I slept till like 1 o'clock today. Everybody let me sleep till 1 for whatever reason. So like,
nice.
I didn't wake up till 1 and then I was mad. I was like, why did everybody let me sleep so late? I'll never sleep tonight. So we had a PQ in Garden City, Michigan. It was nice seeing a lot of the people that I don't get to see very often because I don't come to the east side all the time. And PQs make it easier, like traveling wise, to go to the East Side Star Championships make it a little bit harder because there's so many of them now. Though $10 ones are a little bit more intriguing to me because then I don't have it's really just $10 in your gas money. But yeah, so that was fun. I obviously played Kira, like I said I was going to. The 2 games I lost were to Boba Fett. So I don't know. That's like a conversation, I guess, for later that we could talk about whether Boba Fett is just like a good hard counter to Kira. I mean, at least Boba Fett Green, I didn't know what to do against that. I was like,
Boba Fett Green was wild back. Mike brewed something up real nasty with that. That was really cool to see. You can watch it too back on the replay if you wanted to.
Don't watch me flounder. I didn't know what to do. I did have like a couple, I know I made a couple of mistakes against it, but I don't know if I still would have won because of that. I mean, once they hit their top end faster than you hit your top end, and their top end like Devastator, even if you kill the Devastator, it's still doing that 4 direct. And if they have any other thing that planetary, like the planetary bombardment, like for 6 costs, is just like it's too easy to set up in that deck. Like it's really easy to set up in that deck, and you can't absorb all that. There's nowhere to put that damage. Two of them,
you gotta go like super wide, which is not what a Kira deck does, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't have enough stuff. So I think maybe with some practice I might be able to beat it, but I definitely, if you want to go see Tanner flounder on stream, there you go. You can do that. We play. It was luckily it was right before lunch. It was like we were the first game done too. Like you guys must have like been like. I mean, I won't say that like I was playing fast because I was pissed. I just play like pretty fast, and Mike played really fast. So like we both knew what we wanted to do, and then like the only times you'll see like a delay in what we're playing is when I'm sitting there debating something. I don't think I took more than 30 seconds a turn. Like we had that game done in like 15 minutes. Like both games were done in under 25. So I had a very long lunch.
Yeah, I mean the deck was pretty cool. He really likes that MC30, the Assault, the 5/5 raid 1 overwhelm for 5 in space. He just loves just throwing Boba Fett on that.
Yeah,
because then it's like a 9/9 raid 1 overwhelm.
Yeah. The second game I lost by 3 health. So the second game, in fairness, if I had flipped Kira 1 turn earlier, I would have won that. I would have won that game. So, yeah. So I think it's doable. It's just your strategy just has to, as a Kira player, has to completely change. But other than that, I went 5-2. I lost to another Boba Fett yellow deck. That guy ended up making top 8, so I don't feel as bad about that. And then I came in 10th out of, I don't know, like 72 people. So I feel like it was a decent, like an okay run. I am disappointed I didn't make top 8 though. But it is what it is. I came in 10th. I was 2 off. So
you appreciate the sheer variety of decks that was brought.
Yeah,
everyone just played whatever the hell they wanted to.
They did. That was a little bit nicer than what I was kind of expecting. I'm happy. I didn't have to play any Sabine. Like I was super ecstatic by that. Like no Sabine. Great. That worked for me. Like I don't even have to like think about some of the games. I did have to play 2 Vaders though. Which is funny because like if they knew Vaders were coming, why would everybody bring Vader? Like that just seemed crazy to me. Vader was like the second highest represented deck there.
I believe so. I was right behind Kira.
Yeah, and I could have told you Kira would have. I mean, like I know Jeff and I have been on Kira, and control like softer hard control for quite a while. Like Jeff was a Krennic player, before he was a Kira player. So like I mean, our side of the state does have some control people, and usually that's what we bring. I regret now not just bringing Palpatine because I think outside of maybe that Lake County deck, I guess I don't know how the Boba Fetts would have gone. But I think
it is a good drop.
Yeah, I think outside of those like I think either Palpatine green or not green, yellow or blue could have probably easily mopped up for the most part there. And then the finals was Ray Data Vault versus that Lake County. So outside of Lake County, like if I had to face that Ray Data Vault with Palp, that's an auto win almost. Like I have never lost with Palp to a Ray Data Vault deck. Tarkin Town's a little different, but the Data Vault deck doesn't do enough. Like it doesn't.
We had 2 Grand Inquisitor players, both playing 25 health bases. Both of them made top 16.
Yeah.
For the locals, I love them. Yeah,
Oh,
one was Security Complex GI, the other one was Jeddah City.
Yeah. I felt bad for the one guy that was playing the Jeddah City one, because he was sitting next to me the second for the last game, and like you could tell he was getting a little frustrated with some of the stuff that was going on, and it was just like, like, hey man, like I feel bad for you. No, you shouldn't. Don't give that to them. Don't do that. And no, it was a Security Complex guy that took the draw. That's right. So it was not the yellow guy. It was a Security Complex guy ended up drawing because of the freaking boss deck. So yeah, that was a little different. I would never, you can't say anything in the moment, but it's like, I wouldn't like, if we weren't in a PQ and it was just like a store showdown, whatever, who cares? Like that's casual. This is not casual though. Like that stopped you from being able to get into top 8, like at all. Like he might not have still.
I don't think he would have, unfortunately.
But that definitely put you there. Yeah, especially because there was 1, 5, and 2 that did make top 8. And then Mike and then me were next in line. So
yep. And then yeah, actually, like just a couple of my locals, then Chris with the Grand Inquisitor Jeddah City one, and yeah, but it was really cool. There's some interesting decks.
Yeah.
There's a guy from Ann Arbor who's been just rocking a Poe yellow deck for a while. And he's a very strong player. He went 4-3 this time, but like, I mean, that deck he's just been grinding that out, and it's really cool because you rarely ever see Poe, let alone in the color yellow, but it goes.
It did. I was sitting next to him when he was playing, when I lost to my Boba Fett, and he was playing, he was playing the Anakin blue guy, and he should not have won that game. I will just flat out say he should not have won that game. Like, I was counting some of the mistakes the Anakin guy was making, and I felt really bad. And then, like, afterwards, I was talking to the guy. I was like, hey, just so you know, like, you didn't have to do this. Like, basically, like, he traded his red 5 unit into a Y-Wing that had 1 health on it. I was like, you didn't actually have to do that. Just swing into base and kill it. You actually did not have to swing into that thing, because he only had 1 health left on that ship. And I was like, you could just swing into base. And there's another time he like used force throw and got rid of his Luke. And I was like, oh man, like I know you have that stupid Anakin's Resolute ship, and I know that ship does work in this deck, but you got rid of a Luke. Like, oh man, that just feels bad. But I don't know. It was a fun weekend. I will say, like, prize support was a little different than I'm used to. I did get a showcase out of it though, so I got a Vader.
Yeah, top 16 all got like prestige packs.
Yeah,
and you pulled the Vader showcase.
Yeah, and I played Vader
just in time.
Like I needed that like a month ago. Maybe I saw somebody cooking around with like a Vader Lake County deck. Maybe I'll build a Vader Lake County deck just for shits and giggles.
Why not?
Hey, it made a top 8 somewhere. I just don't remember where. I have to go back and find it somewhere.
Yeah, it was a really diverse top, and it was really diverse just groups that brought. I'm not sure if I'm assuming we're just going through this, right? Because we've already spent a lot of time talking about it.
Yeah. We can, yeah.
Like, honestly, one of the things I kind of like about the new meta right now is that you guys are right. Like, it's so diverse right now that you can really bring a lot of different things. And honestly, as much as I love, the JTL Vader deck that I played over at Richmond, I'm seriously considering trying to build the Blue Thrawn deck that you were running before, and trying to run that for the PQ, because I think it's just going to be a lot of fun and something to try out.
I don't know about Thrawn Blue, man. I don't know. I can't get it to go off.
I think you're just too used to Trench, and that's why, because Dredges and Thrawn plays a lot different.
Yeah, I could not get the Thrawn Blue deck to work, but I will tell you, I do think Thrawn works. I had to play a Thrawn Red deck this weekend, and that was hilarious because Yeah, that was funny because
Didn't
essentially,
he no glory? Oh, sorry, go on.
yes, he no gloried his own unit, which I did not know you could do. And he's like, no,
Okay.
trust me. And I was like, no, we're gonna call a judge. I want to know. I want that to be official. Like, so even though it says you take control, you could somehow take control of your own ship, but because of the fact that if you just can't complete the first part, it just fizzles out and it goes to the next part. You all of a sudden get it, and so like that's how we won the first game. Which was fine. I mean, like it was a legitimate play, so I'm not, like I'm not. That
It's
just
like Vanquish, I get, right? It's the same thing.
No, because Vanquish doesn't say take control and defeat something. So
Sure, but you already control it, so
yeah, I know. So you can't take control of something you already control. Like
no,
it's like
you just retake control of it.
yeah, that's that again. That
I mean, that's not a thing, but it's the same thing.
I understand how it works. I don't agree with it though. I just don't personally think that's like that's
Well,
not
you can exhaust
an
an exhausted card. You can control a card that you already control.
it doesn't seem like that's how it was written as intended, but it did win him the
Yeah,
game.
that seems. Yeah,
It did, which sucked because
I agree with you, man.
I was literally, I think I was like 4 or 5. I was like 1 or 2 swings away from winning.
You play Palpatine, you kill your units all the time. It's the same thing.
But it doesn't say take control and kill your unit. So now that I know I could do that, like that just makes like that just makes like certain like stuff more potent that you can do. Like I'll just play that, and like I guess in Thrawn, if you think about it, the ship that heals, you could just use that on your own ship that heals. You could swing with it, then just use that on your own ship that heals, and then double tap it and heal for 6.
Yep.
Yeah, it just costs you 5 resources.
Well, if you don't have anything else, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I just like that. That's the drawback of that.
I don't think that's. I don't. He was not struggling. We were not struggling for resources. We'll put it that way. But that's the second game. Like those were grindy games. Holy crap! Like that Thrawn red deck against Kira was like it was just nothing but grind. Like every single like we went to like 15, 16 resources. Or at least I did every single round. Like period. So I was a little surprised by it, but it's just I don't know. It was crazy. It was definitely a different feel. All right. So speaking of tournaments, let's get into our tournament results that we want to talk about for this weekend. So here's kind of the overall results that we have. As you can see, Kira has taken over the top leader winner for PQs, essentially. Like I guess there's a couple of Star Champs mixed in there, so that throws the data off a little bit. But then Ray, look at Ray coming up there, man. Like Ray just hitting it out of the ballpark, coming back. People, if you now can play Ray and have a chance between Ray and Kira. So depending on whether you want to play villain or hero, and which deck you want to play. So it's kind of nice to see Sabine fall off the top. And it does kind of mean that like the devs are right then, right? Like there was that discussion about what do we do about if Sabine becomes like a thing? Well, look, Sabine's not a thing anymore. So or as much, I should say. It still is a thing, but it's not as much anymore. And then our man Palpatine Yellow up there with the 4th highest win rate in PQs. I don't even know how that's possible. And now I'm kicking myself, like I said, for not running Palpatine because there you go. Like I guess if everybody's gonna move to like a mid-range control, I could just go back to playing Palpatine. I guess I'm gonna tear my Kira deck apart and put a Palpatine deck together.
I'm sorry I didn't reformulate a Palpatine deck yet. I do have that Vader data vault that plays very similarly though.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll test that.
You just don't get to steal things.
Yeah. Just looking at our top 8, Sabine is still the top leader in the top 8, followed by Han, Quinlan, Anakin. So like, not that they have taken down enough, but if you could kind of see there is still a decent diversity. Not as much as we probably would hope, but there is still a pretty big diversity in the top, making top 8. So it's giving you the ability to play different things, and we're seeing different bases when it's not just all ECL or Tarkin Town any longer.
Now it's all data vault.
Now it's all data vault, which is hilarious. We have a segment, if you want to go back last week, we have a segment that we've talked about data vault because there was a lot of garbage, or 2 weeks ago, because a lot of people don't like the fact that you can put more cards in your deck. But I mean, I'll tell you what, it works out great. And I guess I had to play Akira Mirror for my last game, and that was hilarious because I just like our second game, I just added the whole sideboard, and I was like, all right, you aren't gonna mill me this time. like, if you can mill through 72 cards, good for you, baby. Then I deserve to lose.
Just like Trench.
Just like Trench, exactly. And then this is kind of like, these are the PQs. We did not cover all of them. In the description will be the links to the PQs that we covered. I am not going to list every single deck that we cover as a link, but I did put the main SWU competitive thing in there. You could click on it. You can actually click on any of the names in there, and they'll give you the link to their decks. They've been pretty good about updating it. The one that's undone is because I don't think they've finalized that yet. But for the most part, you get these within a day. So as you can see here, this is a huge, like, a swath of things again. Like, this is like a lot more happening. There's an Akbar in here. There's a Poe. There's a Poe Green that took down a Store Showdown. So that's kind of neat to see. Piat for some reason is coming back a little bit more. So
when aggro leaves, Piat can go in a little bit more.
So like this is a deck I actually had built myself. I played at locals last week. That was very fun. So anyway, these are kind of like the tops. Vader did take down a PQ, it looks like. Finally Vader got to have its PQ win this week. But we're gonna start in England at Element Games in Stockport. I heard it's rainy in England, and I guess I heard it's kind of warm in England. That's what one of my opponents was telling me. So there's that for you. But yeah, so who wants to cover? I don't know. Well, JJ, it's a Grand Admiral Thrawn Data Vault deck that took this down. Why don't you cover it? And
your name.
And I will tell you, this is the new melee format. If people don't like it, we'll get rid of it, and I'll go back to the SWU DB format. But this was in there, so I used them today, and I hope so let us know if you don't like the format of the images and stuff like that. Let us know. I'll switch back. This was in there, so I thought we'd try it. So
it's all alphabetical. It's throwing me off.
Yeah. All right. So we got the Data Vault here, Thrawn, JTL Thrawn. So we got 3 copies of Cobb Vanth, 3 copies of Desperate Commandos, 3 Director Krennics, and Dr. Pershings. We got 3 Lum Pikes, 3 Mauls. Wow, which is a great entry there for Thrawn. We got 3 copies of Super Laser Techs, 3 Avengers, 3 CR90 Relief Runners, 3 copies of the Chimera and the Devastator, 3 Inferno 4s, 3 Lambda Shuttles, 3 Onyx Squadron Brutes. We got 3 No Glories, 3 Overwhelming Barrages, 3 Power of the Dark Sides, 3 Super Laser Blasts, 3 Traitors, and 3 Resupplies to round off the list there. And then in the sideboard, we got 2 copies of the Annihilator, 3 Fleet Interdictors, 3 Devastators, or Relens, what am I saying? And then 3 copies of Palpatine's Return, which is an absolutely great card to have in a Thrawn deck here, just being able to essentially sacrifice a card, get its ability, and then bring it back from the dead again to have it come back again. Really fun deck, actually. I like this version of Thrawn in green with Data Vault here, just being able to have access to all these options here. It is very space heavy. You do have a few ground units on there, but man, once you get those space units out, you can absolutely just destroy your opponent's side, especially if you have an OB ready to just wipe out your opponent's board. You do have a decent amount of ramp between the resupply and the Super Laser Tech to help you get to those large units quicker. But then a decent amount of control as well to just prevent the tempo from your opponent from getting too quick there. So yeah, love this deck here. I would love to run this for the next PQ.
No Vaders. Like
yep,
that,
no
the
Vaders.
first thing, like, I mean, I approve of I approve of Maul. Like in my Kira deck, I'm running 3 Maul and 3 Vader. I don't know how you don't run Maul in this deck though. Or Vader.
Yeah, I mean, what are you like pulling out with Vader though? That's the
I don't know, like 50% of the deck.
Well, I mean,
it'll be nice to pull a Cop Vanth out with Vader.
You can't because he's not villainy.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So it's like
yeah, yeah.
Krennic, Pershing, Super Laser Tech, Inferno 4, or the Honor Squadron Brute. Like, that's not,
I guess, yeah.
like, very, very great. I mean, I'm plus Maul just hits really hard.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird to me. And like, I do feel like the space presence, at least there's more space presence that we saw in the last one. Though those landing shuttles probably don't do a lot for you.
Just draw 2.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the deck. Like, I like Thrawn. I will tell you, I tried testing Thrawn out, and it does not play like Kira. This feels closer to Kira, I guess.
Yeah, I would say.
But like even here, like the lines of play have to be different. Like you have to be going a lot harder to base and not just controlling your opponent completely. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually I built and played something similar to this. I didn't have the Traitoresses. I had Snokes. A little bit more built. I had salvage in there too because it's pretty important. I cut the cobs, but it's a fun deck. It's a little bit weird because every time I'm like, well, I'm blue-green villainy, I have to kill its units. But which also lends in a Thrawn's ability, but it's also like this does not play like a like a Pout Blue or anything like that.
No. And I think if it were me, I would probably go down a Super Laser Blast. I don't know if 3 are specifically needed. I don't know. I don't see that being something super needed that you need all 3 of them. I love that he has 3 Devastators and 3 Avengers main deck. Like,
Yes.
all right, here you go. Like, I better
And
get
the
to my top
Annihilators
end.
in the sides too,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Like, I think those fleet interdictors would just be better main board. I don't know. That's just me.
I agree.
I would put 2 of those main board and put 1 Avenger and 1 Devastator in the side. That's how I would do that. Or I would put a Relentless main board maybe. I don't know. Those fleet interdictors and Thrawn are just so good though. They're like it's a Sentinel and then has double removal if you have 3 cost units. So
I just kind of wish we had like an Animal Constancy crew to take advantage of that and just for theme,
Well, maybe we'll get that someday, JJ. Maybe we'll get that someday. All right, let's move on to the next deck. The runner-up for this event was a Han 2 blue, excuse me. So I thought that was kind of interesting, actually, because we kind of thought that maybe that deck had disappeared, and I think with the Data Vault version and the ECL version of that, like people are like, well, maybe we could play this again.
Yeah, people remember that Han 2 exists now, so now everyone's building with them again.
Yeah. So go ahead, go ahead, Alex. If you want to go through this deck, they have millions of one-offs in the sideboard.
Yeah, I see this. Yes. So it is a red Han Dagobah Swamp, as is the proper blue base. So it's got triple Cassian, double of the blue Chewbacca's, which you can also smuggle out because it is red. Double K2SO, triple Kanan, double Kiadi Moody, which I love. Very fun card. Double Crate Dragon, triple Luke, 1 Obi-Wan, triple Poe, double R2-D2 unit, triple Sabine, triple Yoda, triple Phantom 2. You can drop it early, get that grit. Triple the Red Squadron X-Wing. You do not want to use Han's ability on that one. It will also drawing a card, let me tell you. Because you just killed the unit outright. Double Redemption, double Fell the Dragon, triple Force Throw, double Carabast, double Rivals Fall, double Jedi Lightsaber, double Perilous Position, 1 copy of Open Fire, and double Pillage. In the side, they have double Cham, a 3rd Crate Dragon, a 2nd Obi-Wan, a single Profundity, a 3rd Redemption, double Bombing Run, a 3rd Fell the Dragon, and a 3rd Rivals. It's actually kind of interesting they don't have, like, Stella Guerrera on this. Because, like, so many of these things are tactics. Like, your Open Fire, your Rivals, your Fells, your Pillages. Like, in the sideboard, the Bombing Runs are also tactics.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they're running Pillage. I wouldn't run Pillage in this deck. I always disagreed with Han 2 Blue running Pillage. I just didn't have it.
Well, the Force users do it.
I know. The force throw, I don't, whatever. It just seems weird to me. Like even Quinlan Tarkentown has somewhat moved off the pillages. So, but
Yeah, I probably wouldn't main deck the pillage.
yeah, I wouldn't main. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I agree with you. I think Stella would be a great include personally. Even if you move the pillages, like I don't know if you need bombing runs main deck. I guess like you probably don't. But like if you did, huh? No, I know.
On the side.
But if I move pillage out, what am I replacing pillage? I would probably put more open fire in. I like open fire. I would probably actually just replace those with open fires and run this deck.
Well, an open fire and an Obi-Wan. Single off Obi-Wan's kind of weird, especially when you have triple force throw.
Sure, that's fair too. Yeah, but you do got key. You got key though. You got key,
that's
Yoda,
true.
Kanan, Obi, and Luke's. So like, I mean, you got quite a bit. Like, and usually
all your force units top end though.
They are, except for Yoda. Yoda's not, and Kanan's not really.
Sure.
But I like it. I do like this deck. I do think that like the Chewbacca's is kind of a spicier include as well. Like not everybody was on the Chewbacca's back in the day, but I think like with the smuggle ability, it helps you go late game. I think you need more Sentinel if you want to go like. I don't know. There's not a lot of removal in here either. I guess that's why they have the pillages. There you go.
I wonder how useful those phantoms are. Like 3/3 for 3 isn't great, but also like a 5/1 for 2 is a little bit risky.
Yeah, I mean we have those. Remember, they're the B1 droids. Those were our card like a couple sets ago.
Yeah, those were 5/2.
Yeah, and those don't see play. So.
The B1 attack platform is the best card in the game.
I know. I love it.
Also, this is a 52 card deck too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
the pillage is adding up to 52.
Yeah, they just did not want to cut those. All right, let's move on to Italy. This is the Akbar deck. This deck, this deck it's getting like all sorts of traction all of a sudden. Like just like there's so many people talking about this deck. I don't know if it deserves the amount of attention for it, but we'll see because this is probably worth testing. I think this is probably a worthwhile deck to test because we got to just make sure it's not like a Ray Data Vault that actually has legs. So that Ray Data Vault had more legs than I think people thought, and people did not tech hard enough against that in PQs. And if people see this and it does have legs like the Ray deck, this is going to be all over Minnesota next week, like everywhere.
Oh, please let this be all over Minnesota next week. I play Akbar. I know what's going on.
Do you?
Yeah. I love Akbar. We were going to get around to doing that yellow Akbar deck tech eventually.
Yeah, we should probably do that.
That one is scary. That has Chancellor Palpatine because I found a use for him. So letting all your X-Wings just come in ready. It's great.
All right. So this is yellow Akbar or a Data Vault Akbar. You have 3 Anakin pilots, 1 Chewie, 2, I don't even know what the name of that stupid...
The Coruscant guards.
Yeah, the Coruscant, whatever the guy that ambushes in. If you have coordinate.
Yeah.
3 Echo bases, 3 of
favorable delegate.
Yep. 3 Grogu's, 1 Han, which just seems like a crime to me. 3 Leias, 1 Padme, also 1 Padme, 3 Plos, 2 Kiras, 2 of the
Sindari Peacekeepers.
1 Tech, 3 Wedges. We'll come back to that, I guess. 2 Blue Leaders. Again, 2 Blue Leaders seems crazy. 2 Bright Hopes. 1 of the Death Skirmishers. 1 Home One. Or 3 Home Ones. 2 of the Green A-Wings. 3 of...
Phoenix Squad A-Wings, because those red A-Wings are Green Squadrons, so that's confusing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Relentless A-Wings. And then 3 of the Sanctuary Shuttles, 3 Choose Sides, 1 Spare the Target, 3 U-Wings, 2 Blasters, 2 Air. That's air superiority, right? Yes.
Oh, that's timely
intervention. Okay.
Timely
2
reinforcements.
And then 2 Waylays. And then the sideboard is even crazier. You have a 2nd Han, 2 Cloud Widers, a 3rd Sindari, a 3rd Blue Leader, 1 Clear the Field, a 2nd Spare the Target, 2 Confiscates, and 1 Salvage. Like, this is a JJ deck right here. Like, JJ, this is your deck.
Approved.
This guy's like, I only own so many of each of these cards, so that's what I'm gonna play. Alex, why is Padme in there? I don't understand why Padme's in there.
To get Plo Koon, that's the only reason.
The Padme. Oh, I'm sorry. I am slightly burping, but I'm not at the same time. It's great. Okay. Yeah, so Padme is the 1/4 for 2 that coordinate on attack. You give an enemy unit -3/-0 for this phase. Couldn't tell you.
Okay. All right.
Maybe it's to trade favorably, I guess, with like an X-Wing, or if you want to run, they have a Sentinel, but you still do have to attack with Padme, so it's a little bit iffy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it just seems weird. And like, if you wanted something to tap down, like she's like whatever. I guess she's a cheap tap down unit to create an X-Wing.
Well, yeah. I mean, that would be another reason. I mean, like, it's not hard to get coordinated in this deck because the secret to Akbar is you're actually exhausting your own units.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to do things like, that's why the favorable delegates are in there, and probably the Padme as well if you're not using her ability. Is because they're less than 2 attacks, so you might as well just create the X-Wing token. Same with the Grogu's. And then Anakin can kind of hop in and out of those X-Wings, which is kind of neat.
Yeah. You know, the Grogu idea is actually really cool because you can exhaust yourself, right? Or no?
What do you mean?
Like, well, Grogu, I guess it wouldn't work because you have to use Akbar's ability. And never mind. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
But Grogu's like super great in that deck because you'd either exhaust one of their bigger threats, or you can just exhaust your own Grogu to create an X-Wing token.
Yeah.
Functionally the same thing. Or you can exhaust 2 things, one with Grogu and one with Akbar's ability.
Yeah.
Like super difficult to get coordinate, so that explains like the Coruscant cards. It's just kind of it seems kind of weird to me.
Yeah, so all I can say, like, I don't know how this deck plays. I've never played this deck. This is probably something I would play. This looks similar-ish to like the Vader yellow style. Like, I'll say, except for it has like higher top end in it, but like it does feel like this is a decently let's go wide style deck. I do wonder if I could rebuild this to make this feel more like a Vader deck, except for with X-Wings and then just have a lot more fun with it. Except for I would keep the Grogu's no matter what. I would always keep the Grogu's.
So let's say you just had a card that every time you created an X-Wing, it's just ready now. So it's kind of like better than Vader.
Yeah.
It's called Chancellor Palpatine. I mean, you kind of get the effect out of Wedge, right? Because when JTL was released, they changed the wording and stuff slightly. So when you do for all intents and purposes, the Wedge is also when created the X-Wing tokens. You ambush and get a +1/+1. Because they changed the rules that it's like, hey, when you do create a token thing, you get the like as if you were playing it kind of thing. So that's presumably why that's in there, because you just army of X-Wings there, I guess.
Yeah, and that like I don't know. That actually might be fun. I have an Akbar showcase, so like I would probably, if the yellow one would be similar-ish to like the Vader, yellow Vader, I would actually probably just run that just for shit's sake. This is nobody else is running it, and it would be fun to like run in a couple store showdowns. So hopefully we get more store showdowns. Like that would be neat. Actually, I should message the guy in. That's what I should do. I should message the guy in Grand Haven and ask him if they have a kit, if they got a kit this set, and be like, hey, you should do this on a Sunday or something.
I would also recommend running more than one clear the field in the side.
Yeah.
Because one, incredible against Vader decks, let me tell you. But also, if you have to use Akbar defensively by exhausting your opponent's stuff, you're giving them X-Wings. So when you play clear the field, you just clear out your own X-Wings, and now they're all gone.
Yep. Which is hilarious. It's actually hilarious. Like I have played that yellow Akbar one a little bit, and I put like those, like I use those against somebody, and like they got really pissed off. They're like, "Oh my god, how did you do that?" And I was like, "Well, I mean,
by design,
like,
right?
It's obviously it's a different set, but like they knew tokens were coming, so like somebody on their side was smart about it."
I do like access to like choose sides in green, which is pretty nice. And then you get like the Echo Base and the Bright Hopes for the Sentinels, which is one thing that like a mono yellow Akbar kind of lacks. Sentinels, you kind of have to rely more on exhausting and ambushing stuff.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's worth I think it's worth consideration, and I think people will definitely be interested in it. So I think
I would love for people to play this in a week and just not realize what Akbar does.
Yeah.
Start using it offensively and just be like, cool, free tokens. You know, you have Wedge, right? Like, that's the whole point.
All right. The next one is a Kira deck. I don't know. Do we have to go over this? This is like, let's see here. I'll say this is almost identical to my deck. Except for it's almost identical to my deck, except for it has one more. It has a couple of things that are one more that I don't have. I guess we go over it.
It's nice that they have the tie daggers.
Yep.
No, but if we're going over to go for it.
Yeah. All right. They have 3 Vaders, 3 Pershings, 3 High Blown Enforcers, 3 Mauls, 3 Phase 3s, 3 Pikes, 3 Reinforcement Walkers, 3 Super Laser Techs, 2 Avengers, 3 of the HMPs, 2 of the Green Devastators, 3 Infernal 4s, 3 Tie Daggers, 3 No Glory or Only Results, 3 OBs, 3 Powers, 1 Rivals Fall, 3 Super Laser Blasts, 2 Traitorous, 3 Resupply, 2 Takedown, and 3 Vigilance. The sideboard is 1 Annihilator, 2 Relentless, 3 Palps Return, 3 Top Targets, and 1 more Traitorous. So the deck is almost identical to mine, except for I only run 2 Tie Daggers and not 3, and I only run 2 Infernal 4s.
So you also run Vader, right, over Maul?
I run both. I actually run Vader and Maul. So, yep. That was like, I've always advocated that Kira should be able to do it, and when they gave us Data Vault, it was like, okay, like I now have extra cards. I can do whatever I want now. But no, I run 3 Vader and I run 3 Maul, but I only run 2 Infernal 4s and 2 of the Tie Daggers. Those are probably, I don't run any takedowns anymore. I don't see Fell the Dragon in here. Yeah, I run
even in the side, which is wild to me.
Yeah, I run 2 Fells over the takedowns. I don't like the takedowns in the long run. The problem is they're good against Sabine, but outside of that, like they're mediocre compared to your other removal options. And I will tell you, yesterday I didn't miss them at all personally. And then I'm not running top targets anymore. I got rid of the top targets in mine.
You were side decking the client, right?
Yeah, I had clients, which was more for the Vader. Those were for the Vaders. Like, that was Tanner being cheeky for the Vaders, and I will tell you, I cited them in almost every game actually. So the question becomes: is should they just be main decked? You know,
I mean, if you're putting them in every single game, and I guess maybe evaluate your matchup, see if they were all like, oh, it was like this mid-range aggro kind of thing, so I needed the clients, or like maybe they just belong in the deck.
Yeah, there's actually, I think personally that's up for a discussion that they might just belong in the deck. I'm
on the 62 card Data Vault train now, so I'm all about just slot them right in. 62 cards, easy.
I had 62 cards.
I know.
I ran 62 cards because I'm crazy like that. Which is
That's
funny.
What the legal.
When that guy was milling me the first game, the Kira guy, he asked, like, he's like, man, do you run more than 60 cards? I was like, yeah, I run 62. It was like, oh man. I was like, yep. So, you know,
we're in this for the long haul, baby. No restock either. I wonder if they like what they do in the Kira matchups, like mirror matches.
They must hope to God they don't run into one of those. I will tell you, like, the funny thing is when I played the Kira mirror, the one Kira mirror I played, I did not use I didn't have to use restock. Like, I held it, I did have it, but I didn't have to use it. So, I don't know. There's also discussion about putting tech in Kira too, right? Like,
the boy just run Trench.
I know, but if you don't get access to green, that's why. But like, I get it. I 100% get it. I don't know.
I mean, Devastator is one of my favorite cards in this game, so
it's like, yeah, that card. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do when that rotates out. Like, I'm gonna cry.
Annihilators, same thing.
I guess they're not the same thing. They're not.
I know
Sentinels.
that Sentinel's actually massive for that Devastator. So it's gonna be like Fleet Interdictor, Annihilator,
And we're gonna cry.
two
So
cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're gonna cry a lot.
'Cause I don't personally care that the Avengers are going away. The Devastators are more devastating to me.
Dun dun dun. So anyway, that's a Kira deck. Let's not spend all night on it. All right, the next one that we have is from Spain, and this is a Piat Red. JJ, tell us about this deck. This has got like, I don't know, this is definitely different than the one I'm running.
Yeah.
So let's go through this deck because I want to talk about it. Like, we're gonna talk about
Yeah, so this is definitely a unique take on a Piat deck. Normally, we see it very space heavy. This one, not so much. So we got two copies of Darth Maul and Darth Vader. We also have 3 copies of the 00M Escort Officer. We got 2 copies of the Phase 3 Clone Troopers, 3 Super Laser Techs, 3 copies of the Viper Probe Droids, 3 Architons, 2 Black Sun Enforcers, 3 copies of the Devastator, 2 copies of the Devastators. We got 3 Escort Fighters. We got 3 copies of the Ruthless Raiders, 3 copies of the Invisible Hand, 3 Force Chokes. We also have 3 copies of Merciless Contest, 3 Overwhelming Barrages, 3 Planetary Bombardments, 2 copies of
Piercing Shot.
Yeah, Piercing Shot.
Oh,
thank
sorry.
you. And then we got 2 copies of Price on Your Head, 3 Open Fires, and 3 Resupplies. And then in the sideboard, we got 3 copies each of the Vanguard Bombers, 3 Bombing Runs, 2 copies of Confiscates and Traitorous for the sideboard on there. So this actually has kind of a little bit of a balance between the both sides, right? You got enough of a ground base there to put pressure on the side, and then to finish off your opponents, you have the very big, large capital ships to come in there to come in and kind of overwhelm your opponent's side on the other side, which actually kind of works, right? Because you do want enough ramp, which you do between the Super Laser Techs and the resupplies to bring out some of your larger ships. Specifically, you want those Architons out there. I would probably put in a 3rd Architons if I could into this deck, just because they're so handy to continuously get more resources on your side if you defeat an enemy ship on their side, and that way you can bring out some of your other bigger ships more faster. But yeah, it's definitely really interesting, just that balance there, because you have that Vader and Maul, which hits really, really hard, and you're probably going to be able to get them out pretty fast with the ramp they have on here. I just wish you had a little bit more control in case your opponent controls you harder than you can ramp up. But still, it's a very nice deck to see. It's a lot more balanced than most Piat decks that I've seen so far.
So can I ask, what is the Invisible Hand pulling? Is it just the Phase Troopers and
Phase 3, the OOM series, and also the Viper Probe, because it pulls droids.
Okay. Yeah.
And you can play the OOM and the Vipers, and also on the side the Vanguard droid bombers. You can play those off the Green Invisible Hand, and then you can pull the Phase 3 off of it. You just don't get to play it immediately.
Can I tell you, I love their sideboard though. That's a sweet. That I like that. Outside of I don't like Confiscate, but outside of that, I like that sideboard.
It's a 55 card deck, by the way. That's pretty wild too. You don't generally see it go up that high, especially because they have. I guess the prices on your head are also first turn plays, as are the Force Chokes, but their only first turn units are the OOM and the Viper Probe, the 3 copies of each, and then 3 Force Choke and double price on your head.
Yeah, my guess is they're mulliganing for an Open Fire or a Merciless is what they're mulliganing for, and that my guess is that if they have initiative, whatever price on the head is fine. But then what they want that Open Fire, that Merciless, or those Eager Escorts, and they want to be able to play those. It's the same with Kira when we play Kira. Really the only logical opening play is the Pike Sentinel if you know they're going ground, or Dr. Pershing. Other than that, you just claim and play powers.
It is also very interesting that they're not playing resupply carriers because you do get to drop
Yep.
that for 5.
Yep. And they're not playing
or 4.
those MC-30 ships.
The
which,
MC-30s, yeah, I
like,
love those ships.
are in this deck. Those are amazing with PI. Those are in mine. 100%.
I'd probably take that over the Invisible Hand, honestly. That Invisible Hand's cute. I just don't see exactly the need for it.
And what does Precision Shot do?
That's the one that removes all the shields and does 3 damage to a unit.
Okay, so that's fine. I could see that having use in this one.
It's just more copies of Open Fire, essentially, but a little bit more niche.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do not think that you need Invisible Hands in this deck at all. I would probably cut the Invisible Hands and, like, is it wrong to just tell them maybe we should just go to 60 cards, even though you don't get the health? Like, do you just go to 60 cards and call it a day?
Only if you're adding 5 more first turn plays.
I mean, is it wrong to play Planetary Bombardment for 8 costs? Like, could you just make this a double green deck and, like, play that out of Aspect? Like, if you're getting rid of
the
Invisible...
Devastators and Raiders.
That's true. I mean, that is true. You do miss out on those, but
the Raiders are huge.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I think this is cool. This is definitely different than what I have. So, but I don't know. I actually, that Piercing Shot, I don't know. That might be something to add in. So, I love the main deck Eagers, though. That's hilarious because, like, people don't expect that. And, like, you could tell this guy is playing against go wide decks because he's got Bombing to the side and Eagers there. So he's used to playing against invaders there. The next one is another Kira Data Vault. We're not going to go
main
over
deck's one Annihilator.
Yep.
And a restock.
Yep. And I had a main deck restock as well. This is closer to mine. The difference is I didn't main deck the Annihilator at all. And, like, outside of that, like, this is pretty close to mine. They took the Traitorous out of the main board too, it looks like. Nope, there it is. There it is. And then they've gone to 3 Relentless, 1 Snoke, and 3 Lieutenant Chilsons on the side. And that's definitely... The Lieutenant Chilson's not a surprise. That was like a toss-up for me, whether I played Chilson or the Client. I think the Client has more value in this style Kira deck because you're not... I don't know how many times you're hitting blue cards with him. So, especially moving to these phase 3 troopers, so they don't have Architans. That's the other thing this deck is missing. I ran 2 Architans main deck, just period. And I know you told me not to, but I did anyway. I went ahead and I just ran a main deck, and they performed, like, against control and against mid range. They performed, like, hands down, like, amazing. So they ramped. I didn't even think about this, but they ramp into Devastators, and I was like, oh, like, I don't even need Avenger. It's like, fuck Avenger. I could just play Devastator. I should just run 3 Devastators, Anyway, let's not talk about Kira anymore. So that was a Kira deck. All right, Alex. The next one we have. Did you cover
different place in Spain?
Yeah, different place in Spain. But I wanted to cover this because our good old boy Palpatine, and we got to talk about Palpatine. Tell us about this Palpatine deck.
Did this one won?
Yes. Yep.
Nice.
This one.
Yeah. So it is a yellow Palpatine, which is a couple shades lighter than what it should be, but it's fine. I mean, I didn't win a PQ with a Vader, like with the old Palpatine. I get it. So it is yellow Palpatine, just a 30 health here. It does have a triple Bazine, 1 Cad Bane, which is wild to me, honestly. That would be the reason why I'd be running a yellow Palpatine, was for those Cad Banes. But just 1 Cad Bane, triple Cloud Rider, double Colonel Yularen, triple Vader, double, just 2 Emperor's Royal Guards, 1 Maul, a double Phase 3, double Reinforcement Walker, triple Super Laser, 1 of the sorry, my voice is going out a little bit here, of the Syndicate Lackeys, Triple of the Jump Masters, double Devastator, triple P38s, triple No Good to Me Dead, double Overwhelming Barrage, triple Frozen and Carbonite, one copy of Traitorous, one main deck Bamboozle, double Change of Heart, triple Resupply, double Sneak Attack, and double Waylay. So the sideboard is pretty wild. It is 8 one-offs. So it's a third copy of the Devastator, one Relentless, a third Overwhelming Barrage, one Sweep the Area, which is the one that lets you return units that cost up to 3 or whatever. One Shadowed Intentions, a second Traitorous, the second and third copy of Bamboozle, a third Change of Heart, and a third Waylay. I mean, this is more of the ambush-based Palpatine.
Yeah. This is okay.
But go on, Tanner. You've seen words.
I do not. How about? Am I allowed to say I don't like this Palpatine? This is just, maybe it's just not my style of Palpatine. This is not like a control type deck. This is like This is like somebody wanted Palpatine to be mid range. Is what this feels like.
It's like a tempo Palp. Yeah.
Yeah. This is not my. And I guess it makes sense because like it could probably compete better with the Sabines of the world. Because that's what you're really going into that. But I do not. How about this? I do not like the fact that you're going to only run 2 walkers and then not put at least a third in your side. Like just put the walker is like one of the most important things in Palpatine ever.
Yeah,
like
walkers are huge.
Just great. Walkers are probably one of the best like underrated cards in the game. Anyway, and like
they're up there with Overwhelming Barrage for like the best uncommon card.
Yeah, and
at least in set one.
I do not like the one-off Cad Bane. Just run 3 of them for fuck's sake. Like this, or at least 2. I don't know. Like I would be running at least. I don't know. And you have 2 ground sentinels and one space sentinel, which is I guess fine. But like, why run phase troopers over 3 Emperor's Royal Guards? Like I guess you don't have any officials outside of.
Yeah, you just have Lauren, right? And Palpatine himself is the only official, so it's weird that you even like have those in there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what you play Vader and you're pulling not a lot. It's like you're pulling a Bazine or a Super Laser Attack or a Phase 3 or the Jump Master. Really, I mean, I guess the P38s too help.
Yeah, they're okay.
But it's like Phase 3 and the Jump Masters is what you're going for Vader, but you have 3 of them, but only 1 Maul, but you don't have enough officials for the Emperor's Royal Guards.
Yeah, I guess you could pull
1 Syndicate Lackey, no Bosks.
You could pull the Bazines, I guess, too, off Vader.
Sure.
But it just doesn't feel good either. Like that's not a feel good situation.
Yeah, it's
just different. I liked. Okay,
it's not my style about.
Yeah, this is not my style. Yeah, I do genuinely like the Change of Heart like edition. I like that, but I would almost put choose sides in the sideboard as well. Here you can have my Royal Guard, and I'll take your home one or something. But the Bamboozled, I think Bamboozle is an underrated card, and I regret not running it last set in my Pulp deck because like you could just like. You just discard a card and there you go. Like it's free.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to pay for resources for it. So, like in today's meta, Bamboozle is really good. And
it looks like just over half the deck is yellow cards, so you should have at least 1 to get rid of. Yeah, if you don't have the resources.
Yeah. I don't know. It's different. It's not my style either, though. So.
Yeah, it's not my. I'm just like, man, Frozen Carbonite's a fantastic card, but like, what? I feel like this loses to control, which is not something like Palpatine usually does. Yeah,
and I don't know. This might still do well into Kira. We'd have to test it to see if it does well into Kira. I think that's what if it does well into Kira and it does well into all of your aggro decks, then I guess that it's a better Palpatine call. But again, is there some other leader you could be running that is green that gives you those things. I don't know. You don't get the card draw, I guess, but I don't know. The next one, the runner-up was a Han green. Not surprising, it lost to the Palp yellow. So we're not going to cover this deck. There is nothing of any difference in here other than they only have one spark and one surprise strike, which is nuts to me. But outside of that, like this is your typical Han green deck. So, all right, the next one we're going to move on to is so this is ours. This is our official one. JJ, you want to cover? This is John's winning list. This was the Ray Data Vault that John brought. And he was very worried about IDing in the last round. After he complained nonstop about IDing, he didn't even play out his last round. He just ID'd.
Yeah, so this raid data vault here, we got 3 copies of Admiral Akbar, 3 C-3POs, 2 cargo juggernauts, 3 clone deserters, 3 fleet lieutenants, 3 copies of Luke Skywalker, got 2 moisture farmers, 2 Mon Mothmas, 3 R2D2s, 1
seasoned fleet admiral.
Yeah, seasoned fleet admiral. 1 Sindari peacekeeper, 3 copies of tech, 3 village people, 2 Yodas. We got 3 blue leaders, 2 my goodness. Yes, Bright Hope, thank you. 3 copies of it looks like Blue
Home
5.
One.
Home One, thank you. The granularity, jeez. 3 copies of Fel the Dragon, 1 Rivals Fall, 2 copies of Spark of Hope, 3 Ewing reinforcements, 3 entrenched, 3 traitoresses, 3 resupplies, and then 2 looks like takedowns. And then on the right side here for the sideboard, we got 2 regional governors, 2 copies of Choose Sides, 1 more Rivals Fall, 2 copies of Confiscate and Restock, and 1 Salvage to round off the list there. Definitely a different type of build for Ray here. I mean, obviously R2D2 and C3PO are pretty much staples on here, but definitely having a lot of low costed units to flood the board easily is pretty great, especially having units that can easily be triggers array. And on top of that since they're low costed, you're able to use Ray's ability pretty frequently, being able to buff up the units with the experience and get them out there. Having tech here is also pretty nice as well, so that we can pull cards from your resources as you need to, especially if you're resourcing like Sindari Peacekeepers or Village Protectors to kind of help guard that ground units, that ground side there, and also just restore your board to make sure that you can outlast your opponent. And then just having those great big punches with Home One and Luke Skywalker to help clean up the board after you have all your units in place when you need to. So definitely like this version of it. It is really good to have like this a good amount of presence here with a little bit of control. And it just feels a little bit light on the space side, which is fine because you have a pretty solid ground presence. But yeah, it's a really good raid deck.
Yeah, see, the only deck he officially lost like the round to was Grumpy Elephants, ECL Quinlan.
ECL.
Really?
And,
Wow.
yeah,
So that deck and player is. They won 2 PQs last set, JJ, with just that deck.
Yeah. He did drop a game to the Vader guy.
That was Cad Tarkentown.
No, I don't think he lost.
But in top cut he lost to yeah, sorry, in Swiss he lost to Cad Tarkentown, and then in top cut he lost out to Vader Yellow. Or sorry, not Boba Yellow.
Grumpy Elephant, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a neat deck. I mean, this is typically a standard Ray deck for the most part. There's not a lot of difference from what we saw last time.
He was on stream a couple times, and like an early moisture farmer was just really good against like very aggro-y decks. Just to restore 2, and then you can bump it up with Ray if you need be. And the one-off fleet admiral was actually really nice into in the finals game against I believe it was against the Han deck. It's a nifty little deck. I change a couple things here and there, but it's I believe this might be. I'm not sure if this is the exact copy as the guy from Lille, France.
It's not. It's a
Yeah,
little
I think
bit.
it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But it's a fun deck. It's cool. I love Ray. Although I don't know what happened with like the resolution on this picture. I'm pretty sure like my Super Nintendo copy of SimCity has a better resolution than this.
I don't know. I blame
It's hard to
JJ.
read.
I'm just gonna blame JJ. This is JJ's fault. All right, let's go on to the next one, which is going to be our last one that we're going to cover, which is Han Lake County, which is crazy, right? Alex, do you want to
I played
cover?
this. Yeah. So this is Han Lake Country. I believe we covered it last week or the
Mhm.
week before. This is almost the exact. I believe it's like the same main deck, but different side decks. That, if you recall, that side deck was like 8 different one-off cards, and it was just like, well, who knows what's going on here? Yeah. So this is Han Solo, the new JTL Han Solo Lake Country. It's got triple Boshak, which I'll break down the deck after this because I've played this a lot and it's very fun. Triple Boshak, triple C3PO, double the Dagger Squadron pilot, one Aphis Nest, the hero one, triple Greedo, triple Han pilot, triple Plo Koon, triple R2D2 pilot, one Tech, one Mandalorian pilot, triple Cartel Turncoat, triple of the 3-cost White Falcon, triple of the 3-cost Yellow Falcon, triple of the Republic Y-Wings, triple Sanctioner Shuttle, one Shuttle Tiberium. Sorry. I keep getting that mixed up with the Command & Conquer game. One Tantive 4, triple Wolfpack Escorts, triple Never Tell Me the Odds, one Commandeer, one Confiscate, and double Waylay. In the side, you have one copy of the yellow Chewbacca from set 1, one Han Solo, double of the yellow Home 1, a second Tantive, a one-off Jam Communications, a second Commandeer, the second and third copy of Confiscate, and a third Waylay.
Wild.
Yeah. So I've been playing something very similar to this. I changed it because it wasn't quite exactly my style. But this deck can go really wide out of nowhere and like just burst a lot of damage if you can draw vehicles. Because you can kind of go wide and then you just start improving the ships with the pilots. But like Boshak is huge because, with the exception of C3PO, every card is odd. So you're basically drawing 2 every time you pilot him. C3PO is incredible because you know Han's ability, which you could do on the first turn before you even play him. You always know what the top card of your deck is, so you're always going to draw with C3PO.
Mm-hmm.
And then just a good group. Like if you manage to stack the White Falcon with Han Leader, Mando Pilot, and R2D2, it swings for 13 and is a leader unit. Which is just massive. It's just so difficult if you stack that White Falcon, which is pretty big in this deck. If you stack that, it's just a massive problem for your opponent because it's just outputting a lot of damage and a lot of health, and there's very little outright interaction outside of like Rival's Fall or something, or a way of removing all the upgrades or Bamboozle.
Yeah.
But it's a very fast deck. And when it like works together, it can run through players real fast, which would happen on stream a couple times.
Yeah, I actually was playing a similar, whatever one was the one that won last week. I can't remember if you sent me yours or not. I was playing one of them online, and I almost took that to the PQ just because I was like, oh, this is actually really fun. This reminds me of Vader back in the day.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild deck.
Like, I almost like it better than Kaz, I guess is like what I would say. Like, it just feels better than Kaz. So,
yeah, it's actually interesting to. Unfortunately, here's a wild set of circumstances. JJ, ready? So I had to do this top 8 during mandatory deck checking. I have this deck. I go through it. 4 copies of C3PO. I'm just like, well, I mean, that's very bad. They all have the same backing and everything. And I'm just like, well, that's just like blatant cheating, right? But then you look through it, it's like 51 cards. So, we get the head judge, we bring him over. He goes through, and then he realizes that one of the C3POs is double sleeved and is not his. It was his last round opponent's C3PO that has the exact same like dragon shield back on it that he must have captured with a sanctioner shuttle or something. Because the way he stacks the units, he always directly underneath the sanctioner shuttle and doesn't like expose them or whatever. So he had like he had the fourth C3PO, which is a game loss. So he started top 8 cut, down 1 game, and wasn't allowed to sideboard. Like neither of them could sideboard before, so they started the round. And then he actually 2-0'd the opponent, and then made it into top 4, and then into the finals with this deck.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Like, especially it's like, oh, his story actually checks out, because we eventually contacted the person who was playing that. It was actually another Ray Dadival player, and he had only 2 copies of his C3POs, and that C3PO is double sleeved. None of the other cards in that deck was double sleeved. It was just kind of a crazy series of circumstances there.
Yeah, nuts. I like this.
Like wild that you have the same sleeves, and then that comes in.
Yeah, normally we don't see that, so that's kind of like a thing that just sort of kind of happened. So
this deck is stacky. It's like very. It's not like very. It's inconsistent. Like if you don't get vehicles and you just have a bunch of like pilots, this deck just stalls out. It does and nothing. You could basically do nothing. Like playing like Boshek down for 3 resources for a 3/4 is just not like he's there to draw you cards. So if you don't have vehicles to put your pilots on there and your opponent's controlling those vehicles, the deck just falls apart immediately, which is kind of what happens in a couple of his games.
Yeah, which is funny why it did so well then. Like you would think that if people would be able to know how to play against it, and that's the thing is do people just not know how to play against it, or is it just really like that was the thing with the Vader. Once people learn how to start playing against it, it's not like it loses a little bit of its edge. Like, I mean, we've had some innovations with it. Like Staniszewski and I were talking a little bit about, the changes he's made, and I'm in the same thread he is, and I made some comments, and it's funny because they've adapted stuff they told me was incorrect into the current version. So, cool. But, like there is some innovations, but like, yeah, if you people could put bombing runs in and they just you just end the game. And like, you can rebuild your board, yes, but it's a lot harder to rebuild your board 6 resources in if you aren't close to winning,
Yeah, and like my version of this deck, I took out things like I have no idea why the tech's in here, right? Like I don't need a tech. I don't need a main deck. The confiscates. I don't need the Ephes Nest, honestly. I don't need the one-off Shuttle Tiberian. So I'm just like, second Mando pilot, let's just main deck 2 Han Solos, let's get a little bit of ground going, because like you can't just YOLO space the entire game, especially if your opponent's actually controlling your board. So like you need a little bit of a balance, and your only ground units that are do anything meaningful is like Greedo early on and then Plo Koon. So it's fun. It's cool. If you've never played against it, it will take you by surprise because of how fast it goes. There's been, watching the stream games, everyone's just like, I don't know what this odd Han does. And they're just like, oh no, it's just get a whole nother turn on deploy, because usually at minimum you're doing like 3 resources. Typically it's 4 or 5.
Yeah.
It's usually like, let's stack everything I can in space and then put Han in there and then play Plo Koon on the ground.
Yeah, which works really well because you could wait to pull your Plo Koon out and it could just snipe almost everything, or almost completely snipe everything. So.
Like you don't even have to put Han on an active ship. You could like just play the White Falcon and then put Han there on immediately, and they just can't really interact with it well because it's a leader unit now, and that in upon itself is like a 7 attack.
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't we move on to some spoilers? We got some spoilers I wanted to talk about tonight. I think it'll be super fun. We got 2 new leaders that we're going to talk about, as well as some stances. And so let's hit them, because I'm excited about the stances, and I really think that JJ and I could have like an hour-long conversation just on that. But we promise you we won't. But let's talk a little bit about the new leaders and some of the cards that we've chosen for this week. All right, welcome to our Galactic Gazette. This is our news and spoilers segment, and I will tell you what, folks, we have some spoilers for you. So before we get into any of the leaders, because I want to touch the bases, because we have 4 new 25 health bases that have come in, and I want to talk a little bit about them. And like JJ, you could tell me, like, in terms of like effects, if their like effects fit the name of the temple, or the, you know, whatever it is, right? Like, because like I know where 2 of these are. The third one, the monastery, I'm a little not sure on. I think that's a Mortis card. But I'm not 100% sure if that's like from, I can't remember if that's from the TV show or not. And I have no idea where the tomb is. I don't remember that tomb at all.
I'll look it up.
But so we have 4 new 25 health bases, and they all obviously interact with the Force. This is, again, I think we could have an hour-long conversation just about these bases. I think these are going to be very big going forward, because we're going to have Force users for the rest of time. Because I mean, what is this game, right? You know, like, this game is specifically designed around Star Wars and the Force. So the blue base, the way it says is, when the regroup phase happens, if you control a unit 4 or more remaining health, the Force is with you. So you get to create a Force token. The green one says you get to take an action and create the Force token, and you get to use that 3 times. This feels problematic. So I will tell you ahead of time, make sure your opponent marks it. It has to be a requirement. They have to figure out how they're going to mark it. I don't care how they mark it. I have Force tokens from X-Wing that I'm probably going to throw in my box, by the way. So yes. I love that. I get to use my X-Wing tokens again.
Right? I was going to use like the big thick acrylic Worlds Force token from a couple years ago for the if I have the Force or not, and then you can use like the little cardboard or the cool acrylic girl ball ones for the Mystic Monastery.
Yep.
Yeah.
The next one is the Temple of Destruction. This is the red one. When a friendly unit deals 3 or more combat damage to an enemy base, the Force is with you. We're going to talk about that one, because that seems broken. That's crazy. That's like, welcome to Sabine Force unit deck. That's all I can say.
Yeah, right.
That's what I started building. And then you have the Tomb of Ilaram, whatever. I don't know, however you say that.
Ilaram?
Iram?
Ilram. Yeah.
Which I have no idea where this is.
It's from Fallen Order. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's probably why. And this one is basically, you could take an action, exhaust a friendly unit, and the Force is with you. And so there's no limit to this one either. So as long as you have friendly tokens, or friendly units, you can exhaust them and create Force tokens. Seems pretty good.
Especially with what JTL Vader, right? Create a TIE fighter, exhausted, get a Force.
Yeah. We'll talk about that's a discussion point, because Vader's a Force unit. I don't have a lot of Force ships though, so
yeah.
I don't know how that's going to play out. But what do you guys think of the bases? Alex, you're real quiet. You go first.
Yeah, real quiet because my voice is dying. Okay, I commentated for 12 hours yesterday. I mean, they're cool. It's going to be really interesting, the decision to go from a 28 health to a 25 health base. Just to like get the Force in a mostly passive kind of way, right? With the like blue and red, you get it passively. The green one, you get it, thrice a game, and the yellow one is probably the most doable. It's just kind of like Akbar's ability there. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yellow seems fine. It's just that it's just really tough call. Like you have to build. Obviously, you have to build your deck around whatever base you're playing. But if you're at like a 25 health blue base, you know how many units that with 4 remaining are you trying to go with to get the force back? And that's your only way of gathering force other than the cards you're playing in your deck. Is that worth 25 health when blue tends to try to go a little bit longer, have bigger units kind of thing? I can see the Temple of Destruction making sense, especially if it's like Kylo deck or something. If you're trying like a Kylo force deck, because it's not super difficult to do 3 damage to your opponent's base. But it is like combat damage, right? You can't just be like, I played Planetary Bombardment. Oh, you took 3 to your base. I'm gonna get the force. It's more like you have to run a unit in there.
Yeah, you do have to run the unit in there. Yes, I still think that. I don't know. I think that's good.
Yeah, but it's like why are you running 25 health base where you do 3 or more combat damage when you can run 28 health and that's just when you attack with a force unit?
Because
right?
I think there's some cards that are going to let you use the force to ready units and crazy things like that.
Sure, but if you're readying a force unit, isn't just attacking with them again functionally the same thing? But you get 3 extra health?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess sure. The answer is sure, Alex. But I bet you there's a reason they wouldn't build the base just to do
Well,
that.
yeah, I'm sure.
There's a thing for it.
It's just that's just going to be the hard part of determining if it's worth a 3 health loss to get the force in alternate ways other than attacking with one of your force units.
Because is it the way you get it?
With all the common 28 health bases that are coming this set, I believe they're all just like the force is with you when you attack with when a friendly force unit attacks, the force is with you. So like as long as you have a force unit attacking, you get the force. I mean, the green one seems like nice because you can actually use it at will, like when you need it on demand kind of thing. So I can see the green one being played quite a bit. It also doesn't say like once per turn, right? Because the action obviously can't exhaust a base. So you can do that. All 3 of those get back the force in the same turn, which is really cool.
JJ, your thoughts?
I mean, they kind of each tailor to a specific type of play style, right? Like when I'm looking at the Virgin's Temple, I'm looking at more grit style decks, right? Which grit units tend to have a lot more health. So if I'm looking to play a lot more units that have higher health, then I'm probably going to go with the Virgin's Temple. Temple of Destruction kind of plays more into an aggressive style, right? Like as you mentioned, Sabine. So as long as we have units that can really take advantage of the force to like really buff up either your attack or defensive capability for that particular deck, then that's when they'll really come into to play. The one that probably will see the most play, if any, is going to be the Mystic Monastery, because you are just spending an action to do it, right? You don't have any other requirements in order for you to spend the force. And realistically, if you're really trying to take advantage of both Virgins and Temple Destruction, there is just that extra steps for you to go in and have that that requirement met. And if your opponent ends up wiping your board or deploying a bunch of sentinel units out there, then you're not getting full value out of the bases. And then on top of that, you need to make sure that you keep your health up enough to ensure that your opponent doesn't just basically run you into the ground with an aggressive type list. So they'll definitely see some play early on, and it's something that we'll probably see as they develop a little bit further. Hopefully they do give us enough force units that can really take advantage of it. But as a game mechanic as a whole, the majority of the leaders that we've seen so far require you to use that force in order to use their ability. Or like some of the ground unit cards that require you to spend that force in order to use that ability. So you can go through that resource really quickly, and sometimes it's a nice buff, just depending on what you're getting. But sometimes the the extra steps that you have to go through just to get that particular token to activate an ability just delays it too much to where you may not be as effective in being able to use it to either control or be aggressive. So it'll really depend on really how they implement this throughout this entire pack, and we're slowly getting more and more links for it. There's potential in it, definitely, but I just wish we had at least a 30 health base just to give a little bit more buffer, so that way you can more reliably use the force for those bases.
So here's the example with some of the leaders, right? So like you have Qui-Gon Jinn, and you put that with Temple of Destruction. If you have units on, if you have a go wide deck, and you can like use that to use his ability multiple times, like that's how I think I would see that being played.
Sure, but if all those go wide units are force units, why not get the extra 3 health and also not require them to have 3 attack?
My belief is that you're not going to be able to have all a complete force deck that's going to be viable. So that's just my opinion. And I think that base works really well with Obi-Wan too, personally. Like I think that base like helps Obi-Wan because he can give out a the experience token for it, and then you can use the force not for him to give another experience token, but for other force abilities that you may have on your cards. So we'll see. All right, let's move on. We're going to move on to the leaders. We got 2 new leaders tonight. We have a Mother Talzin and a Kit Fisto. I don't remember. Did we all pick Mother Talzin? Was that like everybody on everybody's list?
I believe so, right? Like, I'm pulling it up right now.
I'll say because I think like you had Mother Talzin and green. I had Mother Talzin and green for whatever reason.
And then actually JJ did not do Talzin.
JJ. What's going on with that? That's because you picked Barris. That's
Yeah.
You and your weird picks. We should have put money on the line for this one. Maybe JJ would have less crazy.
Hey, my obscure pick turned out to be a leader, okay?
You did. You get to cover that one. JJ, tell us about Mother Talzin, and then we'll let Alex cover Kit Fisto. And
yeah, absolutely. So Mother Talzin, power through magic. She is a force and knight unit. Her ability is action. Use the force, lose your force token, give a unit -1/-1 for this phase, and she deploys on 5 resources. And her ability reads, on attack, you may give a unit -1/-1 for this phase. So definitely really good. Pretty decent so far, at least on her leader ground version of it. And just being able to give that -1/-1 a lot of times is the difference between like preventing your opponent from taking you out in retaliation, or if you're having to go against like a token unit, for instance, you can easily just destroy that. She feels like a passive perilous position almost with her ability, just being able to use the force to give out that -1/-1. It will definitely see some play. I know that there are a couple of other knight units out there that will combo with Mother Talzin so far, but overall kind of feels run in the mill so far for what we see so far. On top of that, the stat line for her when she deploys for a 5 cost, just being a 3 attack and 7 health, isn't necessarily the best. I mean, realistically, if she's attacking a unit, she is going to essentially do 4 damage technically. But while she's attacking a base, she's not doing too much. You could equip a lightsaber to her if you need to, or even give her an ability to do like overwhelm damage if you're going through some lower health units. That might help her out. But in general, she's just giving out negative status effects for the most part, while she's either using the force or just attacking outright as a ground leader.
You do know 3/7's pretty good for 5, right? Like we know 4/7 for 5 is BS, and we banned a leader that was that. So
but they had a better ability.
This is Quinlan's stats. Like,
fair.
Do you want like a 4/6 like Bosk or something?
No,
yeah,
I don't.
I would say
I'm asking JJ. I'm asking JJ.
Yeah, I think 4/6 would have been better for her, honestly. But I'll take 3/7. That's fine.
This one doesn't die to Plo Koon.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, it appears that like I mean, a little bit of spoilers for our spoilers, that the knight archetype is all about giving negative, like -1/-1s, stats like that. So, I mean, I think this is pretty cool. I think kind of like a Bo-Katan, right? This kind of depends on your pool of how well you can grab the Force and how well the knight units fit in. How impactful a -1/-1 is for. I mean, like, Peril's position gets play. Make an opening used to get a fair amount of play, stuff like that, right? Where you negatives, you debuff people, but things like hello there aren't really played too much, or out the airlock, right? Where it's like this -4, -4, -5, -5 kind of thing. So it'll be interesting to see if those cards become relevant, or if this archetype is solid enough just by giving out the negative stats. We'll see. I mean, it's pretty cool.
All right, Alex, tell us about Kit Fisto.
Yeah, so this was my wild card pick because I don't know, Kit Fisto's a squid. But man, this art, that face that he's making is the face I made when I saw this card. Let me tell you.
This is going to be like the new Akbar
Watch
showcase.
I will.
It'll be $30.
I will do so many things. Okay, so this is Kit Fisto. He is a Force Jedi and Republic aggression hero leader. As an action, you can spend a resource and exhaust him. If you attacked with a Jedi unit this phase, deal 2 damage to a unit. Solid. He flips on 5, and he's a 1/6 with Saboteur. And then he gets +1/+0 for each other friendly Jedi unit. So do not run into control. It seems a little bit underwhelming. Initially, we'll see how many other Jedi units we can stack in there with him. Maybe he can be like kind of a monster. Maybe you don't flip him on 5. Maybe you wait until later in the game and flip him when he's a lot bigger, and you can swing in for like 6 with a Saboteur unit or something.
Yeah,
he does seem a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like him, but we don't have the full set. So maybe you'll be able to spam, like create some sort of like go wide Jedi deck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get Jedi tokens, but
yeah,
we'll see. His ability, the pay 1 to do 2 damage to a unit, is okay. Like Luke is, you have to swing to do it. This one, you have to attack with Jedi unit, and you have to spend a resource. So it's like Luke is just attack with a fighter.
Mace a little bit.
Yeah, it's like Mace, but on a lower cost curve. Obviously you're designing your deck around Jedis because that's his whole ability. So I will hold this in reserve, as this feels like the Akbar of the game. That there's probably something there that we can play around with. It did, and I think there could be something to Kit Fisto. I'm not excited right now, though.
I will work on trying to crack this code because I called this. Also, that art is...
It's just atrocious. It's literally going to be the worst. Yeah. This is... I'm calling it now. This is the worst showcase in the whole set.
Hey, that Akbar showcase was terrible, and I hate it.
It's going to be worse than that. I'm telling you now, it's going to be worse than that.
Why? He's got a squid face. He's cool. Just put him underwater or something.
All right. Next up, we have stances, is what they're called. And this is like all the different Jedi stances. And in Destiny, this was amazing. Like, you got these cards. You could upgrade them. So you would basically have like a learner's permit, and then you would get the mastery one in Destiny. We aren't getting that right now. So I'm a little sad by that personally. Like, I love that design. Like, where it's a 2-card thing. You can play it, overwrite it, all sorts of crazy stuff. We don't have that, so whatever. But these are all the different stances for them. And let's go through them. We'll go through them one by one. So Neiman, is that how you say that? Neiman?
Yeah, Neiman Strike. Yep.
Neiman Strike. And we have a new, I don't think we've seen the learned keyword either. I think that's new, right?
There's a couple learned ones. Like, I think there is learned cards. I'm blanking on some of them, but it's like probably like Metal Ceremony or something. It's something like it doesn't appear much.
So I think that's kind of new is going to be more focused on after the set, if not during the set, and then afterwards learned is going to become a thing. I will be very excited if we get like some sort of like old school, like some old Jedi master that just sits on the ground. He's like a 1/4 that lets you play like kind of like Jabba. Go dig through your deck, pull out a learned, card.
It wasn't Metal Ceremony, but you got like snapshot reflexes, brutal traditions, encouraging leadership, Roger. So
cool. There's
none
a
of them have
other
been
ones.
particularly played, so that's why I haven't seen it. I mean, snapshot and infiltrator skill.
They are
a little bit.
Yeah. So anyway, this is a 1-cost green only attack with a force unit. Even if it's exhausted, it gets +1 and can't attack bases for this attack. And we already have a card that does that, don't we? And it is a 1-cost card.
Extra attack with dogfight.
Dogfight.
You just have to do it with a force unit, right?
Yeah. So it's okay.
That seems really good. Like really, really good.
Why is it any? Why don't we run dogfight then?
People do run dogfight though.
Okay, but it's not okay. It's not obviously that popular. So that's why I'm saying is like
it shows up in a lot in stuff like Han green decks, like the Han red green decks, mostly for like dogfighting and crate dragon's hilarious, but it's a lot of like when attack like on attack abilities like Poe or reinforcement walker, crate dragons. It was just like a good counter to aggro decks by just playing a unit and then immediately dogfighting with it.
Fair enough. I will tell you, I don't see that. In the lists we looked at tonight, none of them had it. But maybe it's just an underrated card that people should be playing. And this one, like obviously, this one will work really well for a force unit, right? Because if you're gonna have it, you get to give it a +1 on top of that. So that's like it's kind of like a surprise strike or not a surprise strike. Shoot first without the shoot first text. So I think it's okay. It's not like, again, I don't think it's like the best, and you don't have to use the force token for it. So that's the nice part about it. It's just you just have to have a unit that has a force.
Or if you're running a base like the 28 health common base, this is a way of getting the force back by just playing it, like by having no units on the ground, like no units played already, right? You could just drop this unit, play the Neiman strike, and then now you got your force token back, kind of thing. So
I will tell you. Who's going to love this card? Vader. Vader's going to love this card because I can attack with Vader, and as long as I have one more resource, I can play this effing card, and then, like...
Why not Maul? Get the overwhelm,
Maul.
too.
You could do it with Maul. Well, my Maul almost always dies. So.
Run some more Underworld units. Swing with Maul. Overwhelm, kill something. Neiman strike something else. Put it on another Underworld unit. Whatever.
Yeah.
Just play a crafty. Put it in. Shield takes it all, and then Neiman strike, and then kill the crafty.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Who wants the next one?
JJ, I cannot pronounce that. That's got to be you.
Sarisu.
Yeah. Sir Resu, I think. Sir Resu stance.
And that just alerted my Siri, by the way.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this one is it's a 1-cost, a blue card, and it's a learned card, and it says play a force unit from your hand, paying its cost, and give it a shield token to it, which is excellent, especially if you manage to get this onto Maul that comes in into ambush and attack 2 units, right? You essentially have that Maul deploy, attack unit, absorb all the damage from the first one, and then attack a second unit and just only take the damage from that particular one there. I think that is a card that's going to be really good for units that can come in and attack immediately that have like ambush or heck, even overwhelm as well. Just a really good way to get more mileage out of those big units out there and be able to have them come in protected right off the bat. So yeah, definitely is going to see a lot of play, I would say.
Yeah, it's like a more efficient moment of peace, right? Because moment of peace, you just pay 1 to give a shield token to it. This one is you do it in the same action, so you're kind of like Lando, I guess, in that way.
Yep.
So that's better than moment of peace because literally no one plays moment of peace. So we'll see.
I think this has play with a lot of, like, this is great with Plo Koon too, right? Like
Yeah.
Anything
It's
that
great
ambushes.
for force ambush, and it's good for like force sentinels like Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Set 1 Obi-Wan, right? If you're at 7 resources, just play him and give him a shield token, which you already could do in Luke, but this is also 1 action instead of 2. So that's
We're
the
gonna be
important
playing a lot of control, right? Like that's what this
I already do.
This
It's great, easy.
Everyone's gonna be playing control.
Perfect.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Alex. Okay, Alex it's called Arturo. It's yes, it's Arturo Onslaught. We used to have one in Destiny called Arturo Strike, which was the best effing card from that set. Like that card was just amazing.
Ataru Onslaught, sure. It's a 2-cost aggression card and is already a force unit with 4 or less power. Very straightforward.
Yeah. Which I think is 1 cheaper, right, than the other one.
Yeah, well, like Keep Fighting it does cost 2, but that is also a 3 or less attack.
Yeah.
But it's also not specifically required to a force unit. 2 seems really expensive for an aggression card to re-ready a unit. Like the difference between 3 and 4 power doesn't seem worth paying the extra resource in my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, like there could be situations where there's a lot of 4 powered force units in this set, and then it becomes really, really good, right? And there's not a lot of 3 powered ones. Who knows?
Yeah. That I don't know. The next one is Sheehan Flurry. This is play a force unit from your hand, paying its cost. It gains ambush for this phase. The next time it would be dealt damage this phase, prevent 2 of that damage. Who thought Yellow needed this? That's all I want to know is who thought Yellow needed this, for Christ's sake. Unless we get no more Yellow force units, which I think is BS, we're going to. This card feels like almost broken, right? This is an ambush. This is a timely intervention that then also prevents 2 damage.
Ahsoka's gonna love that card, man. I'm telling you.
Like what? What? Like seriously, I don't understand. Somebody needs to explain to me why this card. If you want, everybody should buy the hyperspace version of this card and it'll be worth a fortune going forward. Like this is insane. Am I just overreacting? I think this is like insane.
Yeah, it's a really good card overall. I mean, it's almost. I'm gonna go back to Maul, right? Because you can attack twice with him. Yeah, it feels a lot better than Soresu's stance, right? Like, sure, you're negating all of 1 damage right on the first damage, but being able to prevent 2 of them in most cases, if you're attacking like low attack units, especially like some sentinel units that only have like 2 attack, like Village Protectors, for instance, you're basically just denying any damage back coming back into you, and then you strike into somebody else and still prevent 2 more damage there. Yeah, I think this is really, really strong for Yellow for sure, man. Like it's good. I like it.
Well, first, hey JJ, you do know if you have the red Maul, the one that can do 2 attacks at once, if it's shielded, the shield eats both damage. You take, because they're both dealt at once, so the shield eats both attacks.
Oh man, that's gross.
That makes that makes that a little bit better in your mind there.
Man, I love Maul now.
We went over that when it came out. But yeah, no, I mean this obviously seems very good. It really depends on which Yellow Force units exist. I'm sure there's going to be a fair bit in this set. There's already something like the Jedi Sentinel. That's the 5/4 Jedi. If the Force is with you, it also gets Sentinel. So you can ambush out. The funnier thing is if you ambush out and hit like a 0 attack thing, like a Moisture Farm or a Grogu, it's still the next time you would take 2 damage this phase. So if you end up not doing going into something that has no attack, you could still prevent the next 2 attack, which is kind of cute.
It's nuts to me. I don't know.
I mean, it seems like a lot of the Jedi Yellow units already have ambush built in, because like Plo Koon has it, obviously, but it's like so does Qui-Gon. And another card we're gonna go over a little bit later here. Like the Ahsoka, the 3-cost Ahsoka unit from the third set has ambush sort of already built in, so it's probably going to be used for the other Jedi cards that aren't yellow, which is pretty wild. So you probably won't, depending on what cards are released, probably won't see it in like a mono yellow Force deck. But it does really help out everything else for the other.
I was gonna say,
colors.
what if you do a red-yellow deck and have Antaru, Onslaught, and Sheen Flurry at the same time, right? You deploy them with the Flurry and then ready them again with the Onslaught, and then still have the -2 damage back. Like that's so good.
Well, it's like the next instance you'd be dealt damage, but yeah, still it's.
Well, I mean, the Flurry said that it would be dealt that phase, right? So
The next time it'd be dealt damage this phase, prevent 2 of it.
okay. Yeah.
So it's just like the next instance. But if you
Yeah,
attack
that's
something
right.
that's like 0 cost, hey,
Yeah.
I can play this with my Kit Fisto, but like the red one from a couple sets ago, the 7/6 Saboteur. Now it gets ambush and just don't deal me 2 damage for 7.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on. I don't know. I don't understand why they love
It definitely seems
yellow.
like the best out of those 4 cards there.
So the next ones we won't spend a lot of time on. They're just Tanner's favorite cards, and like I don't think that they're like particularly good, but they're just. We got our first Ewok. Thank God! I'm so excited. You guys have no idea how excited I am about this. Like, I am beyond ecstatic that we're gonna get Ewoks officially. I don't think it's
sent
very
you the
good.
text as soon as it came out. I'm like, Ewoks, baby. You're like, what?
Yeah, I didn't even see any of the notifications of Discord. I don't. This week was kind of busy at work, but like I was like, oh my God. So we have Village Tender is a 1/3 blue only. It comes in hidden and it has 1 restore.
Green Tanner, not blue. Green.
Did I say blue?
Yeah.
Green
Yeah.
only. It's good. Like it's whatever. It's a 1
You played
cost.
in Ray for sure. Let me tell you.
Exactly. Like it's not
First
a horror.
turn 2/4 can attack and restore 1.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say exactly because you could just buff it and it doesn't do anything. You'd also play this in Tarkin, by the way, like and do the same thing. Not that you want that in Tarkin, but like I mean, I think it's pretty good. So I think like
Tarkin, like the guy who gives experience tokens to Imperial units. Tarkin.
Oh, it's only Imperial. Never mind.
Yes.
Yeah. I actually would have put this in a set 2 Han deck, right? Like I get ambush or I can Han this in for 0. It will be a 1/1 at that point, but hey, it can't be attacked and I can restore 1 immediately. Yeah, sure.
The other one is Strike Ship. I don't think this ship's that good at all. Like it's okay. It's a 2 cost 0/3. It's got rate 3 and overwhelm, but it's a Nihil ship, and like that's High Republic. And I am in. If we get a Nihil leader this set, that I promise you, like unless we get Darth Bane, that is the only leader I'll play. I'll play that leader. I'll take that to Worlds. I don't care. Like Nihil are like one of the best parts. And if we get an Nihil leader, like I'm just ecstatic. You have no idea how, like I'm so excited for High Republic stuff to finally make it into a game. Like I love the High Republic books. I know this is just Tanner being a nerd. This is an okay ship, right? It's a 2 cost 3/3, whatever, with overwhelm.
Well, no, it's not a 3/3. It's a 0/3 with raid 3.
Whatever.
It's huge
Same.
when they attack into it.
Yeah, I know. Whatever, but
I mean, just put a pilot on it, right?
You can play a lot of KFMDM while playing this.
Yes, and have you heard any of the audiobooks with the Nihil stuff in it?
No.
They when the Nihil come on, they have like some of the books actually have like metal style KMFDM music playing. Just so you know, it's not as good as KMFDM. I'll tell you that. But
one of KFMDM's albums names was Nihil, so that's why. For the people who are confused. And JJ.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
There was like Jude Joint Jezebel's on that album.
I didn't know it was the Nihil, I guess. Okay, cool.
Interesting. Yeah.
I did not know. All right. I'm even more excited now. Like I'm gonna I mean, next time I see KMFDM, I'm going to make him sign this card. And he's going to be like, "What the fuck is this?" And I'm be like, "Sign the card." And then like, we actually met. See, now we're going to go on Tanner tangent. I met at KMFDM last time we saw them, so that was pretty exciting. I had pictures, and we got. You left. You could have met them all. Like that was crazy. Like I didn't expect that we get to meet them. That was kind of a like, oh my god, I've moment. But anyway, that's a music thing. I don't think the ship is that great, whatever. But I genuinely wanted to put it on here because it's the Nihil and because they take like some drug, some like Stardust type drug that like is basically like an enhanced version of meth that like makes all their senses like go great. I hope we get that as a card.
Just glitter stem?
It's basically like that, yes.
But not legally different.
Yes. So, all right, let's keep moving. And those
space meth heads, cool.
Yeah, Tanner just wanted to. I had to cover the Nihil because I get so excited that we're getting High Republic stuff, and like it actually made me go back and I'm now listening to some of the last 3 or 4 books I haven't listened to yet. So
nice.
All right, Old Daka. Who wants Old Daka?
JJ does.
Yeah, so she's a 5-cost, a blue and villainy ground unit here that comes with 6 attack, 6 health with force and knight text. And it reads, when played, you may defeat a friendly knight unit not named Old Daka. Then you may play that unit from your discard pile for free. I actually like this a lot, and particularly for Thrawn, because as we'll get to other particular cards, there are a couple of the Night Sister warriors, for instance, that we're going to cover next that have when defeateds on there, and then you can essentially use that when defeated and then bring it back and play it from your discard pile again, so that way on a later turn you can do it again. So it just gives you a lot of different options for you to like set yourself up, especially if you need to get more and more cards. And the stat line for this is actually really great, being able to do this with a 6/6 to the presence on the board. I mean, it just can hit very, very well. I would absolutely like to kind of include some more Night Sisters in the Thrawn deck just to make it a little more thematic as well. It's definitely going to be a really decent card, especially if we get more Night Sister or Night units available.
Yeah, the best is going to be like you can play like. I know that's like a cost difference, but Savage probably works really well with her to some extent. And like I don't know, I like the thematic piece. Like in Destiny, we had her, and she used to bring Night Sisters in, and she could like create these zombie Night Sisters. So that's they kind of mimic that with this, and that's obviously that's kind of what she does like in the show. So I'm just excited that she's going to work with Thrawn. That's all I'm saying. Like I just like that she works with Thrawn because it's thematic. So
for sure.
JJ, we're gonna have to build a solely thematic Thrawn deck when it comes out. So, and then we'll have to we'll build an Ahsoka deck too, and then we'll play it against each other. We'll play the Ahsoka versus the Thrawn deck. So, and yeah, she's a 6/6.
6/6 for 5 is pretty strong.
Yeah, and it's not even a legendary. Like this,
it's an uncommon. Yeah,
like this is like okay, this is gonna be like a staple. So, just being able to play that with. The ambush yellow card just seems pretty good.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, speaking of night units, the other one we have here is a Night Sister Warrior. It is a 2-cost blue card. It's a 2/2. It has the Force and the Night traits. And then its text is when defeated, draw a card. Kind of generically good for like limited and sealed and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. But yes, also, Old Daka could just like kill her, draw a card, and bring her back.
And Thrawn could double it.
If need be, yeah. It's his landing shuttle human or whatever.
For 1 cost
entity
left.
That is, yeah. So that's a cool little card. I mean, it's just kind of utility, right? Just drawing cards. So, depending on how much space you want to carve out of your deck for something like that, it could be pretty solid.
Yeah, that in fairness, this kind of feels decent in Palpatine too, because it's like you get to draw 2 cards for 1.
It is a 2-costing force unit as well.
Yep.
Not that phrase is kind of losing its meaning with this set, but it is worth putting out.
The next one we have is Eth Koth, Spiritual Warrior. He's a 4-cost green hero. He's a 5/4 Force Jedi Republic. When defeated, you may use the Force. If you do, you can put this card into play as a resource. Yeah, it's pretty good. Like it's if you have the Force token available, like it's basically like you're ramping for no matter how he dies, it's inconsequential.
You cut out the middleman Spark of Hope and then changed it for a Force.
Yep.
Yeah.
So which is a million times better, by the way. Like that's just like, especially because when as long as you get to attack with them and you attack and kill something, right? Like you can then turn around and get your Force token back, then spend your Force token and get the Force. So
yeah, if you have like the 28
health one, yep.
28 health base, right?
Yep.
You can like timely him out, trade with a unit, automatically get that Force back, and then spend it and just resource them.
Yeah. Or I don't even have to use timely. I can use what is it called? Oh, I could use She and Flurry.
Sure. But then you also prevent 2 damage. So
fair enough. So all right. Let's move on to the next. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the next one. So
Bogdo. I'm all about this. Stupid little thing. I love this thing. It's a 5/5 for 3, just blue creature. It does have the creature trait, and this unit can attack unless it's damaged. And then when this unit attacks and defeats a unit, you heal 2 damage from this unit. You know where this would be great in? You know what deck this would like? What leader would love this?
Han.
I mean, sure, that too.
Visitor.
No. Asajj.
Yeah.
JTL Asajj. Because you do 1 damage to this thing, 1 to their unit, and then you're always attacking with it every turn. Well, damaging their units as well. It doesn't matter that you heal because you can self-damage it.
This thing is stupid, too. It's a 3/5/5. Like,
yes, it's cool.
I do have a rules question. If you ambush this in, you can't, right? Because it can't attack unless it's damaged.
You can ambush it in. It just doesn't attack.
Yeah, it's just a failed ambush.
That's what I thought.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I love the art of it, but the second I saw this, I'm like, did we just steal a creature from the Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom? Like this looks like one of those like deep like frog creatures down in the deep area. Like that's exactly what it looks like to me. Honestly, it was great though.
I got like 4th gen Pokemon vibes.
Yeah,
but like this seems kind of okay. If you do it right, but I think it's incredible in like a JTL Asajj deck.
Yeah, or Han too will love this as well.
Yeah, but that's only 1 instance, right? I mean, I guess if you are attacking and defeating a unit, you are probably taking damage back, so that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope they don't have 3 attack, or else it dies because it has to.
Yep, it has to complete its attack and live before it can heal.
Yeah. Unless you like shoot first or something, I guess.
Well, that's a popular card. All right, JJ, what's the next one?
Yes. So we got Jar Jar Binks. I mean, Kellerman Beck.
You mean hold on, the guy from Gold Squadron?
Ahmed Best.
No, you know who he looks like, right?
Oh.
No, does he not?
Oh,
he doesn't
Dion
look like
Morales.
Dion? He looks like Dion.
Oh, man.
Like he like just the facial.
Dion's got more hair.
All right, that's fair. He does. It's just the facial expression. I think is like I don't think it's
That's
like
fair.
anything else. It's just the facial expression is very Dionish, and that's an X-wing thing.
It really does. So we got the 7-cost green and heroic aspect 7/7, and he has Force Jedi and Republic, and it reads: when played, search for the top 7 cards of your deck for a unit, reveal it, and play it. It costs 3 less. Which is actually really good because you can really bring out like a lot of great units in there to play for free, basically for 3 costs or less, that are just really super helpful. If you're able to ramp up, which there are going to be cards now for heroic that allows you to ramp up really fast. Being able to bring this card out allows you to get this, or being able to ramp lets you get this card out early, so you can essentially have like a 2 card swing in one go. Definitely it's going to see a lot of play. I like this card a lot. It's going to be great.
So you want to know the weird thing I thought of when I thought of this? I was like, oh, I could Ewing this and then play that and then play another unit for like another 3 cost unit. So I get to mill my deck or search my deck and then get to play him and then do it again. Like you can really go through your deck like and just sort through it. It's probably not the best play for him, but
I guess you cycle 17 cards that way or whatever.
Yep.
But might be useful in that data vault to get deeper.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, it seems okay. It's kind of awkward because it's a when play effect. So, you unless you're at more resources than 7, it's always going to be a 3 cost or less unit that you're bringing out.
Yeah.
But you can design a deck, that's pretty good like that. Like, village protectors are probably very strong with this kind of thing. It's just a little bit awkward there. But there is cards that like replicate when played effects, right? Qui-Gon Jinn's Aether Sprite on attack. The next time you use it when played, you can use it twice. So that might be able to do pretty well. Or if you have like a General's Blade to bring him out for cheaper, then you'll have more resources left over to bring out the other units, right? Then you'll have, if you're playing it exactly on curve, you have like 2 extra. You can go up to a 5 by doing that instead of just a 3.
Yeah, I don't think it's like broken, but I do actually think it's a pretty good card personally.
Stat line's a little bit disappointing, but like the one played, obviously you're bringing out another unit with that. But like, Vader does that too, and he doesn't have to limit it to 1 unit.
And he ambushes.
Also, right, but he's a 5/7. This guy's a 7/7, so it's a toss up. It's interesting.
Yeah, for 8 resources, I can ambush him. I'm sorry. All right, let's keep moving. I'm not gonna let that go. Just
with timely, obviously.
With time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The next one, I don't know where she's from. Is this another High Republic?
That's Kanan's master, man, and we saw her in Bad Batch.
Okay, I don't remember that. That's Depa, and I need to say her last name. She is a 6 cost yellow hero with a 5/7 Force Jedi Republic stat line. She comes in with ambush and has saboteur. Pretty good, I think. I think that's pretty good. You'll be able to defeat like anything that like is ambush. I like Plo Koon better personally, but that's just me. But hers is less conditional, and the fact that you can ambush in, like this can ambush in and kill a village protector, or this can ambush in and kill something. Sentinel's Kira shields. I don't know,
behind a Sentinel too.
Yep, it could hit something behind the Sentinel. So it's not. I think it has its place. I think the 6 cost is a little high for it. But I do think that it's really it's going to have some really cool situations in like some sort of like a mid-range / tempo-ish deck where you're able to kill, like, I mean, this can, for 6 resources, this can ambush in and kill a, well, I can't kill a Plo or a Wrecker, so that's not good, actually, now that I think about it. But it can kill a lot of other things, so I don't know. I wish she had 1 more health or 1 more
one more attack.
Yeah.
And you push her up to 7 if you're doing that. A 6/7 ambush is kind of wild.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's bad. I think this is a pretty decent card, personally. You don't have to use you don't have to pay the other resource to ambush her anymore.
Yeah, it's just kind of kind of weird to like the 5 attack is like useful, but once you hit 6 resources, it's a lot more diminishing returns.
Yeah.
The Scepter helps though.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one. What's the next one that we have? Who's up?
I know
next?
JJ wants this one, right?
All right.
Yeah, Pong Krell. So this is a person I thought that I wanted to like choose as a leader because I thought this would definitely be an interesting character to as a leader. But I like this. It's a 7 cost blue and villainy card, and I love his subtext under his name for Pancrel says it's treason then, which is straight out of Palp's mouth. I love it. So he's a Force Jedi and Republic, and he comes in with 2 attack and 9 health, and he has grit. And it reads, when this unit completes an attack, you may defeat a unit with less remaining HP than this unit's power, which is really great, right? Because once you damage somebody, you can potentially, especially if it's like a 1 attack like unit or something like that, especially if you're bringing it in with one of these stances, you can potentially like wipe out a unit pretty fast and still have enough health to defeat a pretty big unit, especially if you're taking no damage back from that particular unit on there. So being able to attack and then delete a unit that has 9 health or less is really, really strong. It's definitely going to see a lot of play in a lot of different decks. I like this a lot, and the artwork is pretty great too.
Is there anything that we can interact with, like any neutral cards that do Jedi things? Because I think he's the first villain Jedi that we have that's like actual pure villainy. I don't know if there is. That's something we should take a note of and like come back and look at, because I thought that was interesting. Like, I know he's a Jedi, but like I think that's interesting that that was put on there right for it. And if there's something that might break that, you could be like, right, this could just be like an insanely good card. But we have this, what's the name of the green guy that we have that does similar things?
What do you mean, like similar things?
What's the guy that defeats something if it completes an attack? It's a green.
Oh, you're thinking of Rook.
Yeah, it's Thrawn's assassin.
Assassin.
Oh,
yeah.
Rook. Yeah. Well, not. I mean, that defeats it when he does damage to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it auto defeats it, so it's different. But he is the only villainy Jedi so far.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the question I have is if there's another card that interacts with Jedis, it's like a neutral card that might buff it or do something different with it. We'll see.
I don't think so, but
okay.
I mean, like General's Blade, it gives you another target for that because that specifically calls out Jedis. So previously, it's like you had to run something neutral like Kiadi Budi for that, but now you can just run it straight villainy kind of thing like that.
I also think this is a little bit weird, right? Like, I mean, typically in control decks, your units, like at the 7 cost level, don't always live very long. And like, I don't know, like my bigger thing with this is it just doesn't, like, it has 9 health, I guess. So I guess that's good. And it does get the grid.
Nice. And grid, which makes it good. And it doesn't have to, the when it completes an attack doesn't have to be like a unit, right? So you can just start swinging into base and then just killing units. Kind of like a little bit like Hero FSNS, which just bounces them.
And this kind of, it probably works pretty well with Asajj, right? Like that's probably you could just do a damage to it, put a damage on something else, swing with it into your base, like you said, and now I could see this. I guess I could see that, especially in Asajj is we're gonna build an Asajj deck, and that's gonna happen.
You can give it General's Blade and make it a 5/12 with grid that kills things less power than it.
Oh, that's
and
so
reduces the next cost of your unit by 2.
Ugh.
He was a general, right? It said so in the first set, so
yes.
It's a thematic.
He is definitely a general. All right, let's keep moving. I'm hesitant to say this is going to be like an insanely good card, but I do think it's going to have its niches. So
yeah, there might be like pretty niche uses for it. We'll see.
Yeah, I think Asajj will love it, which I'm excited about.
It seems a little bit better than like Luminara, right? Which was like the coordinate grid 9 health kind of thing. So
yes,
we'll see. Up next, we have Kylo. It's Kylo Ren. I know your story. Sure, he is pointing. It's a 2-cost pure villainy unit. It's a 2/3 for 2. It first order and force traits. No surprise there. It has overwhelm. And I mean, which thematically makes a lot of sense, right? But the ability is when you play an upgrade on this unit, you may use the Force if you do draw a card. So they're really trying to get you to Voltron this Kylo up to do scary, scary things. And with the Overwhelm, it works really well. With Revan, right? Because like Revan's like you want to attack and defeat a unit, you get the experience.
Yep.
And then hey, giving an experience, right? Use the Force. I mean, you want upgrades on this thing, right? So you just got to Voltron it up. We'll see. I mean, 2-3 for 2 isn't bad. Kind of a standard stat line. I think they're trying to raise that in this set, though. So we'll see. I mean, it's Kylo. He's kind of cool.
It is Kylo. So, all right, next one.
Go quick question on this one: does this work with the set 2 raid that allows you to put Kylo Ren into your deck without the aspect penalty?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be.
You can buff him. Buff him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
You can buff him. Yeah, exactly.
To make him 3/4. So that's a thing, I guess. Run multiple Kylos in a raid deck.
Man, I'm loving this even more. And we don't even know, we might be getting a Rey and a Kylo that just interact together. And this is like, we're like, oh, this unit is not that great. And then we get a Rey and a Kylo that interact together. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we'll get like a Kylo's lightsaber, right? That's a very distinct lightsaber.
I would hope so. All right, Chirrut is next. He's blind, but he ain't deaf. He is a 4-cost blue unit with a 3/5. He is also Force and Fringe, and he is a Sentinel. When this unit is attacked before damage is dealt, you may use the Force. If you do, the attacker gets -2 for this attack. I think that's pretty good, personally, especially in a very Force-driven set. So this feels pretty good, actually.
I mean, he's kind of better than Baze, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would think so. It's not a conditional Sentinel. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be pretty scared if I was attacking it, man. So that's probably why you get the -2, -0 for that. Because Donnie Yen's is a really cool guy. But it's interesting. What? Donnie Yen's great.
Okay.
Donnie Yen is amazing. Yes.
Have you ever watched Rogue One, Alex?
Once, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think it's thematic. He used the Force or whatever, kind of, because he believes in it, but doesn't do anything with it.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's also Ip Man, and Ip Man's awesome.
Yes,
so,
agreed.
Anyways, 3/5 Sentinel. I mean, I think this is pretty solid. I mean, as long as you can get the Force back, right? Anyone attacking him is just debuffed. If you get really high rolly with it, you can just like attach an Electro Staff to him. Right, so they already get the -1 debuff, and then you can spend the Force, and now it's a -3 debuff on them. Stack it with the high ground, so now they're getting -4 on top of that, right? Just hordes of people held off by him.
Yeah, I actually really like this card, and like this card, like just thinking of Lando, like being able to play him and put the shield on him too. On top of that, I don't know. It just feels really good.
I like this card. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, you're gonna have to try to regenerate the Force, but like just a 3/5 Sentinel for 4 is not bad because you have like the AT, the Outland AT. That's the same stat line.
Yeah, I like it. I think this is good. Yeah, I think that's actually a really good card. I could play that in Kira as long as I know how to generate the Force, and it's better than the AT Walker. So. Okay. All right. Let's keep moving. We have a ridiculous card that should not even be in this game.
JJ, do it. You love this thing, right?
Yes. Yaddle, straight out of, what is it? Tales of the Empire. So we got a 2-cost Yato with a blue and heroic aspect here, coming with just 2 attack and 4 health with Force Jedi and Republic keywords. It has Restore 1, and on attack, each other friendly Jedi unit gets Restore 1 for this phase as well. Actually, I see this doing really, really well outside of like this new set that's coming out. I mean, this would do great on Luke decks or even a raid deck as well, just being able to buff your other friendly Jedi units that you're already bringing, like Yoda, for instance, or even Luke, to just increase their restore capability. It's definitely something that's going to see play outside of this new deck that's coming in, and it's really good for 2 costs. It's just fantastic.
So yeah, stocks are going up in Force Throw, aren't they?
I mean,
Yes.
they should have already, right? Like once they announced the set. I think Yaddle is very good.
Yeah.
2/4 for 2 is very strong. Also, you get Restore 1 out of it natively. And then also an on-attack effect? What was this? Like, Yaddle is kind of a silly character, right? Like, what happened here? Why is she so good?
I mean, she took on Dooku and Palp.
Well, yeah, I guess that will do it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think this is silly, but also like you were saying, in a raid deck, JJ, I think now it's a 3/5 Restore 1.
Yeah.
Which is the same stats as Yoda. Yoda gets a Restore 2. This one also just gives all the other Jedi's Restore, so you can just mass heal. I like this card a lot.
All right, let's move on.
You seem less enthused, but okay.
No, I'm not less. I'm upset. I do not think this card should have. I think this card is BS. Like, it's going to really wreck things. This card for 2 costs is just crazy. I'm sorry. Like, I agree with you. This is a very good card. Like, I don't know.
At least we don't have token Jedi or token Jedi units out, right? Like, otherwise this would be even more bonkers.
Oh, thank God we don't.
Yeah. So I'll take. I mean, both of these are really cool, but I'll take Doom. I'm assuming it's not like Doom, Doom, not like Doom A.
Yeah, it's Doom.
Yeah, some wolf thing. So there's a 4 cost double blue.
It's a loaf wolf. All right, never mind. Just keep going.
Same
We're
thing,
gonna.
sure.
Yeah, just got
Okay, it's a 2/7 for 4 double blue force creature, which is a cool. And it says when the regroup phase starts, give an experience token to each other friendly non-vehicle unit. Wild. Man, if I ever go back and like if I ever continue playing mono Blu-ray, you just throw. How do you not throw that in there, right? I don't care that it's only a 2 attack, which I can also buff with Ray, by the way. I don't care. Like, it's just pumping out experience tokens everywhere, and then a couple turns later I'll play Nebula Ignition. Just wipe everything out. I think this is really cool. I think it's super niche. I don't think it's going to get a lot of play, but man, in a mono blue deck like Ray or Gar Saxon, this seems really good.
Or Kanan. Maybe that's
That
who
too.
it's designed for.
Yeah, whatever. It's a creature. It gives that experience. That's fine.
Maybe it's meant to go with Kanan.
Yes, it's a creature.
Maybe it's meant to go with Kanan for other reasons that we just don't know about because you don't watch any of this stuff.
Sure. Kanan can give it a shield.
You can, which is even better. I think this is a good card. I think this is a really good card, personally. And the fact that it's a double blue, it can go in anything. So I don't know. I like double blue though. So that's my that's what I like.
That's the exact opposite. Yeah. It's more limiting because it's double blue.
Except for I like double blue, so
so do I. Yeah, I mean it seems like if you are doing a mono blue like Gar Saxon deck though, that just seems real silly. Like your opponent has to out this so fast.
Oh yeah.
Now I will say there another niche thing is that Han can play this, right? For 5. Han 2 can play this for 5, and it still gives all the experience tokens out and around there. So it has its benefits, I think, outside of double blue, but they're niche.
Yeah, it seems
All right. The next one
What
is
a gorgeous ship. Sorry.
it is. It's Kit Fisto's. I know it's sad that we didn't get an X-wing ship with Kit Fisto's signature on it. So I don't think we do. We don't have that. No, we
Yeah.
don't have.
I mean, he's an Actus, right? He's an Eda, but that's about it.
Yeah. Kit. Anyway, sorry. X-wing talk. Kit Fisto's Aether Sprite. He's good hunting, I guess. He is a 5-cost red hero, 4/5 Jedi Republic vehicle fighter. It has Saboteur on it, and when played, you may defeat any number of upgrades on a unit. All right, thank you. I'll take a 2-cost more Fang fighter that actually like lives and does even more things and has Saboteur. This card's insane. Like this card's great. Period.
It's power failure for a 3-cost more on a body.
Yeah. Like I think this card's great. And it has Saboteur. Like on top of that. So like
Yeah. Is there a reason that like a bunch of Kit Fisto things just have Saboteur? Is that like a thing he
I
did?
secretly suspect that Dave Filoni is at FFG like designing these cards with them. That's what I suspect.
But I don't know. I don't think he has anything like super crazy niche like in his character story arcs about that type of stuff. He's actually kind of an underrated character in the Clone Wars series. So
yeah.
JJ, what do you think of this Aether Sprite?
Dude, that's an auto include, honestly, in a lot of like space heavy decks. Yeah, this is really good to help you just get through some of those like what Black Squadron starfighters or some of those Fang fighters that are going in there, and like on top of that, when you're playing on it, you eliminate upgrades on a unit automatically. I mean, so good at 5 points. This is an auto include for sure.
So can Plo Koon mess with this? Is Plo Koon limited to or not vehicles?
No, Plo Koon is Jedi, and this is a Jedi unit.
You know, oh my god, this is going to be insane with Plo Koon, right?
Yeah.
Like if you have a couple of upgraded things, this just works super well.
I like this a lot. I'm trying to see if the other Aether Sprites are also Jedi, because like the Padawan Aether Sprite is actually a Jedi, right?
Yeah.
Because that one's like, hey, you need other Jedi units you need Force units for this to do things. Yeah, like Qui-Gon's Aether Sprite's a Jedi itself. Obi's Aether Sprite's and a Jedi, and yeah, the Padawan Starfighter's a Jedi. Hey, so is Anakin's Interceptor too. Actually, the Actus.
And there's a light cruiser, by the way.
Yep,
that's a Jedi.
Yeah, I mean that's a little bit later down the line. So I like it. It seems really good. It seems like the Red Hero has another out to. Oh no, they played pilots. Health.
Mm-hmm.
I also like that as you may defeat any number of upgrades, like power failure, where it's like you can pick and choose. So if you like throw a bounty on them or something, you don't have to knock off your own bounty, or like a perilous or something. You don't have to knock that off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. We got 3 left. Alex, which one do you want? I think these all 3 were yours, so you can pick which one you want to cover.
I'm gonna do Thralls of the Coven.
Okay.
Because I think there's a deck where I think this is great. So Thralls of a Coven is a 3/7/5 aggression villainy unit. As the nitrate. That's funny. And it has raid 3, which is great for Grand Inquisitor, because this is a 1 health higher clan challengers.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it works well with like keep fighting, right? Because it has 3 attack. So if you can stack raids and stuff on this is kind of scary. It's probably not super useful outside of that, unless there's other cards that interact with this. But there are a fair amount of cards that just like aggression, the card itself, like can restand this. So it's cool. It's a nice utility card, and I guess technically more thematic than Clan Challengers in a GI deck. I don't know. But I like it specifically for that.
Yeah, like if Maul ever can become a thing too, that it's like a 5 cost 6/7 with Overwhelm. So that feels pretty good as well.
And the seven health is beefy
No.
for a 5.
Yeah.
So it can absorb damage in there, and then it just hits for 6, right? So that's real scary. It's Plo Koon if you manage to ambush it out. It's Plo Koon without the need for coordinate.
Yeah. All right, JJ, which one do you want to pick next?
So I'll do the Will of the Force here. So we got the 4 cost, the Will of the Force, and it reads: return a non-leader unit to its owner's hand. You may use the Force. If you do, that player discards a random card from their hand. Actually pretty good, especially more later on in the game when your opponent has less cards in their hand. Especially if you play this in conjunction with like Pillage, right? You essentially, if you can ensure that your opponent has no cards in their hand, or like just pass to make sure that they play their cards, you return that card back into, like, especially if it's like a big unit, return it back into their hand and then make them discard that card from their hand. Could be really good. And I mean, imagine somebody playing an Avenger, you return it back into the hand and then just make it discarded like that. It definitely has some definite uses on there. I definitely think this will see play. This could be particularly very, very strong. And yeah, it's gonna be good.
This is like a better Waylay.
Yeah, it's way
Yeah, it is a far better
that costs
Waylay.
1 more, but you dump a card out of their hand. Yeah, so I can see it in if like Quinlan is still a thing, right? Something like that, like a little bit of hand hate. That's also a bounce.
Mm-hmm.
So
If
it's pretty
Quinlan's
cool.
still a thing, Quinlan will be a thing.
Hey man, there's 2 Quinlans at the PQ out by us. We'll see. But a bunch of Force stuff's coming out. I get it. Yeah, I just wanted to like, hey, this is a slightly better Waylay. It's kind of like a Rivals Fall to a Vanquish scenario. It's like you pay 1 extra and it does a lot more.
Yep. And again, it's yellow because FFG just wants to give yellow everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs the help.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, yellow did not win the PQ. It was blue-green.
That's very true. The next one is Adigalia. And this is a 2-cost red hero, 2/4 Force Jedi Republic. The text is when an opponent plays an event, deal 1 damage to that player's base. There's no condition. So it's pretty, let's give middle finger to control. So I like it. I think it's pretty, actually, I think this card is pretty good just because it's a 2-cost 2/4, right? Like it's, you can
Havoc and Twin Sons too.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And you can buff it with Ray, and it's just, I don't know. I like it. I think it's good. I think this card is definitely worth including. And obviously I think this is designed to go with like the Kit Fisto deck. That's where it feels probably the most comfortable, but it's like this is like a hero MIGS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Except
a mini set 1 Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah, I like it. I actually like, for 2 costs, I feel that this just becomes kind of an, if you're running anything that deals with like Force type stuff, like your Force throw just gets enabled with this and all sorts of crazy stuff. So
the only thing I dislike is that weird like Scorpion King rock CGI face that they decided to put on Adiagalia here.
all right, fair enough.
Because it looks exactly like the terrible like Scorpion King CGI rock face. I don't know what they did. Why'd they give her the raised eyebrow?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but this seems like a really, really strong card. Would include Index, but man, that face.
I think I bet you we'll get an alternate card for this. Like we'll get one of the weekly plays. We'll replace it. We won't have to work.
Aren't all the prestige cards like? Well, there's a ton of unique Jedi, so maybe not that.
Yeah.
But she is a rare, so maybe they do a prestige version of her.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that.
Isn't she from like the Starfighter game that the other Squid guy was from? Captain Nim, wasn't that the one they from the same Starfighter game back in the day? I think that's where that was from.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly.
JJ, you should know this. You're a resident.
How do I know this and you guys don't? What's up with that?
I think she's Republic era. I just can't remember from what.
I mean, in fairness, I don't think I've ever played that Star Wars.
I mean, neither did I, but I had to do the research for because she came out on X-Wing too, right? So I'm just like, oh,
Yeah,
what's
and she
this?
was in the Clone Wars as well.
Oh,
so.
okay. Well, never mind then. Anyways, derailing everything.
Well, that's all of our spoilers, folks. So there you go. I mean, you could derail, and we'll wrap up the episode for tonight. I think we've casted long enough. Thank you all so much for joining us on this journey. We had a lot of spoilers the guys wanted to go over. Plus, we had some tournament results, and yeah, Tanner rambled on and on about Kira and the PQ because Tanner can't help himself. So, with that being said, thank you all for joining us. We will be back next week. I don't know when we'll record the episode just because it's Memorial Day weekend. So I'll get with the guys. We might not have we might either have an episode earlier or we might have an episode Tuesday. So I don't know for sure. It's just Memorial Day weekend. I'm not traveling very far, so I'm not going to Minnesota, unfortunately. So there you go. Like if I was going to Minnesota, we would not be casting.
Right.
But I'm not going to Minnesota, and I don't think there's a lot.
I'll
of
probably
other
be at
things.
recess out in Ohio. So for that PQ,
Not next weekend. You won't. That's the weekend after.
you're right. Never mind.
Yes. So, anyway, with that being said, we'll be back next week with another episode of Planning Phase Syndicate. Thank you all. Have a good night, and we'll see you on the flippity flop.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening.